It is the Wednesday edition. The training camp is finally here. The first practice is 89 minutes away edition. The left my basement last night, was out pretty late. If this is what hangovers feel like, even when I didn't drink any alcohol, I don't know how people bounce back the next morning. I'm tired. But I'm excited as well. I'll fill you in. I'm
excited.
You'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. The Goody is talking at 9:20. Matt LaFleur is talking at 9:50. It appears we've gone back to the coach talks before practice schedule, so he doesn't have to endure my long questions. So that's a win for him. Every day at 9:50, unless I'm going to duck out if we have questions for Matt that need to be asked edition. And, of course, the Brian Bulaga, not only scheduled to appear, but scheduled to appear while I'm down there doing press conferences edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need. And the all-new, all redesigned, all free, all customizable ESPN Wisconsin app, where you can get it both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson, I believe, is also in Green Bay, just not with me. He's at the Tundra Trio.
What's up?
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, my God. There you
Live from either
Good.
the Tundra Trio or the Quick Trip on Lombardi Avenue. It is Jesse Nelson. You're not bright enough. We need some more, better lighting so we can see that handsome face.
No, I think he looks good. I think he looks fine.
And from his undisclosed location.
Pulling this off is good enough. Give us a break here.
We're happy to have you. I was trying to compliment you, and Tausch said, no, we're good. Dark is good. And from his undisclosed location, in his farewell appearance for a while, while the Tausch summer sabbatical kicks off, it is the Packers Hall of Famer. It's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. So fill us in. You never leave your house except for laying on picnic tables, watching your girls watch sports. What did we do last night?
So our friend Matt Carney played a show in Madison at the Orpheum, which is the home to all the great shows, right? I mean, obviously, we had Made 'Em Believe there a couple weeks ago. Matt was there 2 nights ago. And then he had a show in Door County in Fish Creek. Sure. Yesterday. So we drove up last night, and you know he's obviously a wonderful musician and a good friend. And it was funny because every time we see him, which is every year or two, depending on how much he tours, we have pictures of him sitting between Madison and Sid, and to see them from the first time when they were 3 and 4 to now they're going to be a freshman and a sophomore was mind-blowing, not only for us but for him as well. But we got home at 12:30 and then back at it this morning. So that's past everybody in the car's bedtime. So we're a little lagging, so it's a good thing I've got the excitement
leave the
and
show
adrenaline.
early. That tends to make me think that you had VIP tickets to this.
No, I bought tickets, paid for them myself. They were 4th row, and Matt was nice enough after I bought them and said, "Hey, we'll see you in Door County," to offer to give us tickets. I said, "No, take the girls out for ice cream. We're happy to do it." But then we did get to see him afterwards.
So he offers you tickets. You say no. Instead, go buy my kids ice cream.
No, his girls.
I just want to understand.
No, his girls.
Oh, okay.
He's got 3 girls.
I was like, boy,
no,
would be
not by my kid.
No. I don't want your free tickets. You just take my kids out for ice cream. That would be that would be awkward.
And fill the soda machine in the clubhouse. Yes. So no, he has 3 daughters. He and Annie. Nice. So anyway, it was a late night and an early morning. But we are and it's going to be more early mornings for me starting tomorrow, because on 620 WTMJ, in the normal window where you hear the Packers Hall of Famer, they have upgraded that position, and I'll be filling in for him during his sabbatical. All right.
I'll be disappointed if there's not a Wally Pip Lou Gehrig reference pretty much every day while I'm gone. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that.
No, I think we all know who the star of the show is
So,
on this program. So we're
all
good.
right. So, Jason, you're over at the complex. It looks like your office got upgraded, huh? Did you get a new upgrade just like the Packers locker room did, or not?
No, I'm happy to report though that everything is exactly the same. John Anderson and Joe Thomas and John Bonamigo and Tony Gwynn, all the bobbleheads are just where I left them, so they're all in their places. The refrigerator still
Lighting
works, so I
looks
could.
more similar to your office at home. That's what looks different to me.
Who is this? Is there somebody else on the show? Oh, there. Oh, Jesse's here.
Hey, I'm here too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Jesse.
Some
What did you
awkward
say?
background noise. What
The
hell are you
lighting
talking
looks
about?
similar to what you have in your basement at home from here. It
So
looks
oddly enough, it is the same. They are the leg lamps from A Christmas Story. I have one in my office in the studio at home, and I've got two. I like the mood lighting. I don't want it to be too bright. I do have the bright lights above, but I like to put people in a calming, soothing mood when they have the opportunity to watch on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. All right, so Jesse, you're going to be more involved in a little while. Not that we don't want your involvement now, but there's a little bit of a delay and a little bit of an echo. So Goody's talking at
Outside of that, he
9:20,
sounds great.
and he looks great too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I feel
and then
fantastic.
Matt LaFleur talks after. I do like to take requests if you have any that you feel like I need to cover. I know. I'm sure Domovsky or Schneidman, not Wes Hodkowitz, because obviously he works for the team, but someone's going to ask about the Elton Jenkins situation.
Yep.
I still don't know how to.
I saw him. On the Packer preview stuff. He's in the building, which is good.
On the non-football injury list, but he is in the building, indeed. Is there anything else that you really are just itching to find out about as we kick things off this morning at 10:30 for the first practice of camp?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff, but I know that Goody won't answer it. So, I don't think, like, to me, the next question is, you still have $30 million. I think Ken Ingalls, who I follow from a cap standpoint, I think they said even after the extension to Zach Tom, there's still $30 million to play with this year, which is
correct.
A good chunk. Who is next? And I'm guessing he's not going to. I know he's not going to tell you, but I am interested in who is next. I'll be really curious to see who's next and how that shakes itself out. But outside of that, I mean, I was on with KBN yesterday. The Zach Tom part was going to be interesting. Obviously, the left tackle spot's going to be an interesting battle in Elton, but this is kind of what you got here. Now it's just who's going to elevate to see if you're going to be good or better than being a 6-7 seed and getting knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. It's not going to be, I don't believe, unfortunately for Jason Drama Wilde, I don't think there's going to be a ton of drama once the Elton Jenkins situation sorts itself out. This team is kind of where it's at, and then it's just grow and get better and develop and coach them, and that's kind of, I think that's how the Packers like it.
Yeah, when I was trying to put together what my angle would be for my camp preview on Channel 3000, I basically went back to what Goody said 6 months ago when the season ended about urgency and competing for championships. And then it's what we've been talking about throughout the offseason. So many players that need to elevate their games and be consistently good as opposed to sporadically good. That's what this season comes down to. And I don't want to say, you know how much I love chronicling the journey. So I don't want to say, well, wake me on September 7th. But it kind of is. Like, it's, we don't know what exactly the pecking order is going to be at corner, right? We don't know.
Idea.
We don't know what the wide receiver. Go ahead.
We don't. Nope.
We don't know what the wide receiver
Jason,
pecking order is going to be. So it'll be interesting.
I think one of the questions. Go ahead.
The only battle is left
so
tackle. To your point,
yes.
The only battle is left tackle.
I would agree. And I guess the question I would have for Goody is, you talked about urgency. Some fans don't think that there was a ton of urgency in your moves this offseason. is this roster good enough to win a Super Bowl as it sits here right now? And my guess is Goody's going to say yes. And I think that actually is going to be your snippet and your soundbite that's going to get blown up. I'm sure he'll couch it like you do. And he'll say, well, guys got to get better. Guys got to do this and this and this. But, yeah, outside of that left tackle position, I think this idea of Sean Ryan not being the right guard, and this was the other thing that I mentioned yesterday, how's it going to line up? What is it going to look like on 3rd and 7 on the D-line and on 3rd and 7 in the receiving corps? Who are your guys going to be? When the money's on the table, who are you putting out there? That's what this training camp is going to be, and that's where monitoring those joint scrimmages. And I guess the question for LaFleur is there with playing the two of the top 3 teams in the NFC right out of the gates, is there any thought on doing more contact, doing more stuff in preseason and in these games so that you get these answers to the test before you actually go to take the test? Because when push comes to shove, who do I think can beat a guard one-on-one when it's 3rd and 7 and I got to hit Jared Goff? Or who's going to get open on a 3rd and 6 when they got, I don't even know who the coordinator for the Lions is right now, but when they're going to be playing press man and you're going to get after Jordan Love, who are going to be the guys out on the field getting ready? And I don't think they have the answers to either of those now, but that is, to me, what needs to be answered throughout this month-long training camp.
Yeah, I wrote all that down. That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
What
do you think Goody's going to tell you when you ask him if this is a Super Bowl championship roster?
Well, so what I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take your great idea, and I'm gonna say, Goody, 6 months ago, you told us that you guys needed to ramp up your sense of urgency, and it was time for you to start competing for championships. I'm sure you think you've put together a championship caliber roster. What makes you think that this roster is capable of winning a Super Bowl?
Oh, I like that.
That's a great question.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a run at that.
That's good.
We'll see how that goes. I'm going to get downstairs for Goody. You're going to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed, and you're looking for a resilient roster. You're looking for resilient players and coaches. And when Windows, you're looking for resilience, you need to experience Pella. The Pella Experience Center lets you see it, feel it, open, close, compare dozens of window and door options from 7 different Pella lines, and they're all lined up side by side. Stop by soon, though, because if you order by July 31st, you can get 0 interest for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Jesse will take over. Brian Gutekunst is going to talk in about 5 minutes. Brian Bulaga is going to join.
Don't be late.
Still right down the steps, thankfully. Still right down the steps. Brian Bulaga is going to join the guys at 9:30. I will rejoin when I can, and then we'll be off to Packers practice, which kicks off at 10:30. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. As sports fans, we always hope our teams get to prove that they're the best at what they do. But guess who's proven over the last several years that they're a best of Madison car dealership? Oh, you got it. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Zimbrick's service team takes great care of my vehicle anytime I need to bring it in. For tune-ups, battery checks, tire rotations, oil changes, and much more. They'll make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you don't get stranded on the side of the road. And of course, if you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Zimbrick Chevrolet is the perfect place to start your search. Stop by the dealership or even begin the process online at home by logging on to ZimbrickChevrolet.com. There are always great offers to take advantage of each month. View inventory, schedule a service appointment, and learn more about all Zimbrick Chevrolet has to offer. Call or click at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
All day, every day.
The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
The ESPN Madison Open, presented by Coors Light, is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing up our bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison, dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open, also brought to you by Carbless, Zimbrick Honda, Siding Unlimited, Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, Clear Vision Pro Wash, and Vortex Optics.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Celebrate Happy Gilmore 2 at the Bridges. On Sunday, July 27th, play in the Be Happy 2 or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes of golf with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot games. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot games. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Seattle Mariners,
and the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Double-digit strikeouts for Quinn Priester. He's got 10.
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
Hold on. I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone. I don't want to move on. I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips.
Wilde and Tausch continues live from Green Bay. Packers training camp 2025 officially opening up a little bit later this morning. Jesse and Tausch for the time being, while Jason Wilde heads over to Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst and head coach Matt LaFleur meeting with the media before practice this morning. Brian Bulaga scheduled to appear coming up next. An absolutely loaded show covering it unlike anyone else here from Green Bay as we get set for Packers Training Camp 2025. Officially getting underway in about an hour. Dream Drive, the MFAM Dream Drive, getting set to open up here any moment just across the parking lot from where I'm situated here at the Tundra Trio in the shadows of Lambeau Field. Before we get to more of the Packers excitement throughout the course of the rest of the show, Tausch, while I'm stepping in, filling in for Jason, I don't know if it sounded like he had a pretty big night last night. I don't know if he got a chance to watch the Big Dumpers dinger be the lone run scored in the Brewers' 1-0 loss to the Seattle Mariners. No burgers for the city of Milwaukee and fans around the state. Unfortunately, the streak comes to an end at 11.
Yeah, 1-0, correct? A shutout for the crew, and I'm not going to overreact and panic. It's been a heck of a run. It's been a heck of a 2 months. It's been a heck of a, since Jesse called for Pat Murphy's job, it's been a great, great run. Now it's a reset. You've been on the road. You got one more game, and I believe you come home, and then the Cubbies are next week. So there's a lot of big baseball left, but just really gritty, good, solid baseball that's been played. The one thing that I did see from last night that I guess I'm a little curious about, and we discussed this a little earlier this week with the Strasburgian nature of what the Miz is going through. What did he go last night? 3 1/3, 3 2/3?
3 2/3. They pulled him with 2 outs in the 4th inning. I was hoping he would get through the 4th, and ended up being okay. But I'm in agreement with you on this. I think.
That's if you want to start getting a little bit, what is this going to look like? I want them to be smart, no question. He is a special talent. But I think it's easy, there's people saying, well, there's 3 aces. Well, there's this. Freddie Peralta's the ace. Big Woo has looked good. Need to see a little bit more. It's a really good team. There's a big, big upside with what's going on, but last night kind of reiterated again, those are the kind of games that you end up playing in playoff games. A couple of hits here, and they got the big dumper going yard. It will only kind of reiterate fans that are saying we need a bigger bat. And again, I'm not overreacting. I'm not going to panic. I think this team, as it's constituted, going to make the playoffs. And then from there, you just don't know. I mean, they beat the Dodgers six straight. They're good enough to win. But that little, I guess, last night was another reminder that, all right, it was one game, but is there enough pop? We shall see. It's just now that there's 8 or 9 days before the trade deadline. If Milwaukee goes in a little bit of a spell here, and it's bound to happen because what they've done has been unbelievable, you eventually come back to the mean. You have 8 or 9 days to make that decision whether or not you're going to go pick up a big bat and hopefully help you, or if you just love the way your team is built. So there's still question marks. No panic, no worries. It's 11 out of 12 is pretty dang good. But last night, I think, between the fact that the Miz is going to be as limited as it looks like he's going to be, and then again a little bit of lack of pop, there's still things to be answered, no question.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. Ian in East Troy texts in, could this loss be a good thing to emphasize to the front office that we need offensive help? That's kind of what you're asserting, Tausch.
Yeah, and that's the question. And, I think you could easily come back and say, what the hell are you talking about? Look at what we've done. Look at what this team has done over the last 2 months. That is a bigger picture than last night, and that's how I look at it. Again, I am not in the camp that you have to go pick up Suarez. You need to go do this. If there is someone out there that you think can add a little pop, especially if they play on the left side of the infield, I think you entertain that thought. But my guess is this team's probably not going to do anything major, and they're looking at it and saying, we're getting more people back. That's going to give you more options, especially matchup-wise, and this is the way this team is going to win games. And, whether or not that's the best way to go about it, I love the fact that now Milwaukee is going to be, hopefully be judged on what happens in October. That's what everybody wants. Just like the Green Bay Packers, all this other stuff is cute. The Green Bay Packers will be judged on what they do in January and February. They're not going to be judged as much what happens September, October, because you're assuming, and we know what happens when you assume
90% of the time
that you're
right.
going to be a playoff team. And the Brewers are going to be a playoff team.
Indeed. Some of the numbers here from the Miz that were being talked about last night with these load management starts that I think we're going to start to see. So last season, between AA and AAA, he threw 97 1/3 innings total for the entire season. 97 1/3 innings. So call it round up to 100 innings last year. He was already at 90 after 5 starts in the majors. So he's already up to 90, including the 1 inning in the All-Star game. So that's where you start to see, okay, if he only threw 100 innings last year, and he's already closing in on that number, and there's still 2 full months to go in the season, plus, you hope, a run in October, what's the proper way to load manage the Miz so that you still get the best of him long term, but also the Brewers find themselves as the best team in baseball, which they still are today, even though they lost. The Cubs won yesterday. They are tied for the NL Central lead, and they are both tied, the Brewers and Cubs, with the best records in baseball. How do you manage load management in conserving him throughout the course of the season, but also utilizing him, knowing this could be one of the best chances the franchise has to go win a title?
I think you stretch it and maybe don't pitch him on 5 days rest. You pitch him on 6, and then you limit where he's at until the postseason. The thing I don't want to see is what the Nationals did with Strasburg. And that is you pitch him, and then all of a sudden you get to the end of the season, and he's done. Figure out what that formula is. Make sure everybody is comfortable with that formula, because the last thing I want to see happen is the Brewers get into a 3-game tilt against whoever in October, and you're going to tell me that Miz has pitched too many innings and can't throw. That's the last thing I want to see. So however you go about your business, he's going to pitch more than 100 innings. I think you limit, you stretch, you try and steal as much rest as you can. But when it gets to be postseason baseball, I think at some point you just got to say, let's go. And that's where I would say is what we need to do with the Miz.
Brewers fall last night.
Can you imagine we go through all this, and then it gets to be October, and they're like, all right, Miz, you're done. We'll see you in April.
No, that was so embarrassing when it happened to the Washington Nationals. I think it was the 2012 season when they were the number 1 seed in the National League playoffs. They were playing the Cardinals. I was in college in Peoria, Illinois, at the Harvard of the Midwest, Bradley University, and one of my best friends was a Cardinals fan. I loved giving him grief all season long about, your guys, doesn't matter, you're going to run into the Nationals when you get into the playoffs, and they did, and then they beat them in 5 games, in part because Strasburg was on an innings limit. That was embarrassing for the Nationals, and whatever the Brewers have to do to make sure they're not in that position this year, learn from that mistake that Washington made over a decade ago. They cannot end up in that position this year. That would be so embarrassing for the franchise if you say, well, we're conserving them for future seasons. What good is it conserving them for future seasons if it's your best chance to potentially win a championship this year? There's no reason that you would want to do that. Like, I understand you want him to have a great career. You want him to make his money over longevity of hopefully 2 decades in Major League Baseball. But you can't wait around when he's that good and the team is this good this year. We know it as good as anyone when it comes to baseball. You may never get back to that point. Climbing Mount Everest is tough, I've heard someone say on this show.
Put the flag in. Yep.
Yeah. The golden age of Brewers baseball right now. The Miz might be great a couple of years from now, and he can go a full season with as many starts and as many innings as we want, but if the team isn't as good or in a position to contend for a championship, what's the point? I understand, play it safe, conserve him this season. Right now is a good time to do that. He's got to be good to go for the final couple of weeks of the season and into October. Has to be.
I agree. 100%.
I'm dreaming fearlessly that the Brewers are going to make a playoff run. I know there's a lot of people across the parking lot here at Lambeau Field who are dreaming fearlessly as the AmFam Dream Drive helps open up Training Camp 2025. The festivities unlike anything else in sports, Tausch, and it's all thanks to American Family Insurance.
It is American Family Insurance. You're talking about Dream Drive. They have the patio down the tailgate down at AmFam Field where you can go down and get face paint. And American Family Insurance, they're just out in the community. They're here looking out, chasing for you to chase every dream that you can. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully with American Family Insurance. Go to amfam.com to find your agent today.
That will conclude, I would imagine, our Brewers coverage of the day. The rest of this show is going to be dedicated to the Green Bay Packers opening up Training Camp 2025. Jason Wilde right now is across the parking lot inside Lambeau Field where he is talking with Packers GM Brian Gutekunst, followed by head coach Matt LaFleur, and then he will join us as he gets set to host the remainder of the show as training camp practice gets underway here in Green Bay. Coming up next, Brian Bulaga helps us kick off training camp today. Opening day in Green Bay. Feels like the first day of school. Brian Bulaga joins the show next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia Madison is turning up the summer savings this month. Right now, drive home in the all-new 2026 Kia Sportage with 1.9% APR for 48 months. $2,165 cost per thousand finance. But hurry, offer ends August 4th. Plus, at Metro Kia Madison, every new Kia vehicle comes with a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty and 90-day deferred payments with qualified credit. Head to Metro Kia Madison today or browse their inventory at metrokiamadison.com. That's metrokiamadison.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. In fact, we are Wisconsin's only Pella Platinum Premier Certified contractor, and we've won Pella's prestigious National Contractor of the Year award 5 times. It's easy to get started. The process starts with homeowners meeting us at Siding Unlimited's amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
The team you'll always remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin.
With a reunion you'll never forget.
This place, this school, this city, these teammates, this coach, just everything involved was the most formative part of my life and the most special part of my life.
Relive Made 'em Believe now with the full show on ESPN Madison on YouTube and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brought to you by M3 Insurance Company, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzers. Made 'em Believe. Available now.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck & Honey's. This summer, soak up the sun and savor the flavor at Buck & Honey's. Their spacious patios are the ideal spot to enjoy award-winning dishes, craft cocktails, in an unbeatable atmosphere. Perfect for a casual lunch or a night out with friends. Plus, with fresh seasonal dishes and exceptional service, they're here to make every visit special. Visit their locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. Celebrate summer the right way, on the patio with great company. I'll see you at Buck & Honey's.
Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has 0 bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah,
I do. Opening day of Packers training camp 2025 on Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch for the time being. Jason Wilde is in attendance as Packers GM Brian Gutekunst meets with the media right now. Rob Domofsky tweeting 10 minutes ago. Goody on day 1 of training camp, quote, We've had a lot of regular season success over the past 6 or 7 years, but it's really about getting into the playoffs and trying to move forward. Got to get there first. It's important that we don't skip the steps. Goody meeting with the media. That's one of his opening statements here of training camp 2025. Plenty more to get into. Of course, Jason will catch us up when he rejoins the show. But first, we bring in our favorite offensive lineman, except for Tausch. It's Brian Bulaga, who will be the cousin sub of the day tomorrow when Tausch begins his summer sabbatical. So I want to start this appearance, Blue, by saying we are only going to keep you for one segment today. We are going to load management just like Mizorowski last night for the Brewers. One segment for you because I know we'll have a lot to get into over 3 hours tomorrow. So plan accordingly. That being said, happy training camp opening day. It's exciting to be here.
Yeah, it's very exciting times. Hearing Goody say that they've had a lot of success, I'd have to agree with him. There's been a lot of wins, right? I think we can all agree with that. There's been a lot of successful seasons if you look at it from a win-loss standpoint. I think there's a lot of teams in the NFL that would trade places with the Green Bay Packers, and I think we can't lose sight of that as fans and people who follow the team. I mean, he goes back 7 years. I mean, if I'm doing my math correct, I was around at that point in time. That was 2019, LaFleur's first year. That was a wildly successful year if you look at it from a first-year head coach standpoint, right? Go to an NFC championship. I understand how it ended. But if you look at, I guess if you want to look at regime change, right, and how that has started, I mean, that's been kind of like a blueprint. If you look at a new head coach coming in and taking over, that's what every NFL team would love to have. So I would agree with what he said there, but the second part of that is also correct. It's what happens in the postseason, right? Like it's what you do when you get into the show, and that is the tournament. That's what happens from the end of January on. And that's kind of what this team is being built for, right? Like that's why you go pay big money for free agents. That's why you pay your right tackle, which is wildly, he deserves it. That's why you pay him $88 million, because you pay cornerstone players that much money because you believe these are the guys that take you into the playoffs and help you get over that hump and help you get to that next level. So, yeah, I mean, success determines what you do in late January, then obviously February.
Yeah, Blue, what do you think, Goody, when he looks at that 6 or 7 year run, is it bad luck, or what do you think in his mind is one of the reasons why they haven't been able to get over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at what has it been? 2 NFC championships, 1 at home that ended. I mean, that one at home, obviously, I wasn't a part of that, but that was a huge buzzkill. Obviously, that one was tough. And I don't think anyone likes to look at things as bad luck, right? Like I think bad luck is kind of like, I don't know. I think no matter what happens in football, as players, I don't really look at it as luck. I always think we normally bring things upon ourselves, right? Like I think that's normally throughout a game. You can say breaks or this or that, but normally we end up putting ourselves in those positions, right? Like it's what we
a certain way. Yep.
Yeah, it's like, but what could we have done the series before that didn't put us in this situation here? And that's really what you look at throughout these 7 years or whatever it may be, is they put themselves in situations that kind of put their backs up against the wall in points in time throughout those 7 years that maybe gave them what you would call bad luck or disadvantages at times, right? Like, and I don't want to say they had bad luck in that NFC Championship game at home. There's no bad luck there. That's called you just got beat, right? Like that's not bad luck. That's being outperformed. Like we got outperformed in San Francisco in 2019. There's not bad luck. We just got beat. Like that's really what it comes down to. And I don't want to say that it has to do with like the players weren't good enough, because clearly the players were good enough. The record showed throughout the season the players were good enough. The postseason wins showed that the players were good enough. You get to the final moment and the players weren't good enough in that moment. So it's not like the organization and himself putting players in place isn't there. That's all there. It comes down to, in the final moments, are the players doing enough on that final, those final moments to get the job done, and it just hasn't been the case. And what needs to be we can go over this a million times. Like, well, what needs to be done? Like, I don't know, right? Like, we could talk about it all day. Like, what needs to be done to get over that hump? Like, I don't know what it took in 2010 to get over that hump. It took to go out there and play, and for offense and defense and special teams to put together against Chicago to beat Chicago in Chicago to get to the Super Bowl. That's what it took. Like, I don't know what special formula it was. It wasn't like it was some magic potion. We just put it all together that day. Like, the offense complemented the defense and vice versa, and we won. Like, that hasn't been the case since that day. And that's really what they need this year, is for that side of the ball to complement the other. And if they get that, this team could be really good because the pieces are there. They really are. It's just and we saw it defensively, right? Like, we saw it towards the end of the year, the defense started to find their groove, but our offense just never seemed to find their stride, which is very odd, right? Like, I mean, besides the run game, obviously, right? The run game was the one bright spot that this offense really had. Now, if we can put the pass game together with that, I mean, you could find something really good, really, really good with this team from a totality standpoint, right? Not just like they could still, obviously they won 11 games. I get that. But I mean, from a postseason standpoint, you can have a really special run, but obviously there's a long way to go for that. And it starts today in training camp, building that thing up.
And it is a step-by-step process. And I think the nice thing for this team, Blue, on some of your more veteran teams, 14, 15, you just want to get back to – you got to just start camp. Well, let's just get to January so we can get this thing. You knew you were going to be a playoff team. This team has a lot more to prove in that regard. So that's why I like the kind of the makeup. There's not the same amount of veteran players, but there's guys with experience. So we'll see how that goes. Goody also said, and I'm going to be real curious if you buy this, that Elton Jenkins is dealing with, quote, a back thing. And the expectation is that we'll practice as soon as that's cleared up. Is his back thing that his wallet isn't heavy enough and that it can't balance out both sides, or do you think there is a back thing that's going on?
There certainly may be a back thing. There could be a back thing, but I don't think the back thing would be preventing him from being put on the non-football injury list. I'm going to put it this way, man. Like, and maybe in your time it was more common. In my 10 years there, it was rare to see an offensive lineman get put on the non-football injury list coming into camp. I don't think I ever saw it. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure I ever, nope. I don't think I ever saw it. So sure, maybe his back's a little sore from something, but I think this has absolutely everything to do with the negotiation process. I think it does. And I'm hoping what Goody said was, when he's ready, he'll be back out there. And I hope by that means that we are working on this situation and this should be done as soon as possible. And when it's done, he will be back out there. That is what I'm hoping. Reading through the lines there, that's what that means. Because this, I just don't. Now that the Zach Tom deal is done, right? Like, and you get that deal out of the way, and I never understood this. I was actually thinking about mentioning this to you. I'm out here cutting grass, and when you cut grass, you got a lot of time to think about stuff. I never understood the process or the thought process of, like, why teams, or like why people always think like teams can only handle one deal at a time. Like I never like got my head around that. Like, oh, they got to knock out this deal and then they can do this deal. Like that's like, come on, like you can handle multiple deals at a time. Like this is the NFL. It can't just be one contract at a time or one renegotiation. Like, come on, like. But regardless of that, now that the Zach Tom situation is done, and that's a big situation. That's a lot of money, and it moves cap space around and it pushes things around a little bit. I'm hoping that allows Green Bay to, I don't know, maneuver money in a certain way to give Elton or give both sides what they want in this. You know what I mean? Because no one's going to walk away completely happy, and I think that's the way this is going to end up. No one's going to walk away 100% happy, and that's normally the way negotiations go. But I'm hoping that both sides walk away somewhat satisfied. And that's what I'm hoping they're trying to figure out right now, because if the longer this goes with Elton not participating and not being with his hand on the ball and Jordan Love not taking snaps from him, it's just detrimental to the offensive line and the offense. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. And people can say, well, it's just, just the center. It's just the center people then obviously don't understand the importance of getting on the same page of a guy making the call for the four guys and the communicating, and then the quarterback being comfortable with that guy. How many, quarterback center exchange reps the QB and the center take in camp is like incredible. I mean, they take so many snaps together, just dry reps. And how much they're communicating and talking. So, like, this is important. It needs to get done. And this is Elton's first year playing the position fully. Like, it's hit like this. It's not like he's stepping in for a quarter or he's stepping in for a half. This is like the position he's playing all year. So, like,
hey, Blue, when will you start getting nervous about that? When will you get nervous if his back thing is still flared up? Is it August? Like, when is it? Because you're right. You're missing critical reps, the communication. And from another O-lineman standpoint, you're working combo blocks with left guard, right guard. You're working, I got to declare here. We got to make sure not even the snaps, but then also the gun snaps and reaching guys and whether or not you can leave a center, or if you have to change blocking schemes. If a center can't reach a nose, you have to keep your guard in to help. So it's not just as easy as saying, just plug them in there and play. There are nuances and a lot of variables that go into how you're going to block certain things, but judged on what your center can get done. Because it ain't the hardest thing to do, in my opinion, is for a center to reach a really good nose on a front side play. Because that nose guard knows it's coming, and he ain't going to let you do it. You got to be strong enough and quick enough to cover him up, or the play is blown up. And if the play gets blown up, then you have to leave a guard in, and all of a sudden now that linebacker isn't going to be – you're not going to be able to get up on that linebacker the way you want. There's a lot of it. So I agree with you. When do you start getting nervous, or are you already in the fact that even though they're not pads on, that he's not out, that he won't be out there when this thing gets started?
I would say if he's not back and taking snaps by when's family night, Jesse? How many weeks is that? What week is that?
It's like AUG 2 or AUG 3.
Yeah, next Saturday.
It's about
so
10, 12 days.
10 days from now, yeah.
I would say by after family night, if he's not back, I'm a little nervous about it, because then we're getting into joint practices, and we're getting into reps that against other teams, where that's when you're going to start building. You're going to start seeing your starting offensive line. That left tackle job is going to start to come down to the nitty gritty, and you're going to start to see your final five getting put together, and that's when that group is going to start forming, and they're going to start building. Some synergy is what they would say, right? Some camaraderie with the five, and that's when you want the group performing together. You want them all on the same page. And Tausch, you hit it perfect, because if the center can't do certain things, then you're bringing the guard in, and then you're leaving a tackle on an island, and then there's variables where the defensive ends can start doing what they want, and then it brings in a lot to play. And then with the LaFleur schemes and the run game schemes, we want, or I say we because I played in it, but they want full flow. They want fast running. They want full flow action. They don't want double teams with the guard in the center. They want everyone to be able to run and go and just fly and run. So if you're having to keep guards in with the center, that just stops all the flow of the run game. And that just shuts everything down in one point. You want to be able to split the defense in two. So you want it backside and you want it full flow front side to cut it in two. And if you're cutting it in so many different spots, it makes it cloudy for the running back. So it is crucial to see what the center can do. Now, do I think Elton can do that? Yeah, but guess what? They need to be able to see it. And there's to me, and I never did it. Thank God I never got asked to do it because it looks really, really hard. And, I always said I got to play with really good centers. Having to snap the ball and gun and reach a shade away from your snap hand is probably the hardest thing to do. Snap the ball in shotgun, reach a shade to your left, and try to make sure you reach it.
Don't step on anybody. You can't cross yourself up. Yeah, it is not an easy thing to do. Blue, you talked about the left tackle competition. Goody also, on Rob Domofsky's Twitter feed, says it's an open competition. But when you have 37 starts under your belt, there is a comfort level that something would have to overtake that. So while I believe they want Jordan Morgan to be the left tackle, in essence what he's saying is if this is a draw, we're going with Sheed. I don't know if we'll see how that shakes out, but that is very interesting to me because I think my mindset was they drafted him in the first round. They want him playing, but he has to be markedly better than the guy that has played 37 starts already.
Yeah, I said this to Homer on Monday. Sheed, if he plays the way he has, and obviously in camp last year, the battle ended really quick, but I'm just talking about recent. So towards the middle to end of last year, if he performs that way in camp starting this way, I'm not sure how you tell him, you lost it. I don't know how you do that. Because unless Jordan Morgan is performing at a very, very, very high level, right? I'm talking and I'm not saying he can't do that, right? I'm not, because I don't know. That's the thing. Nobody knows at this point in time.
They don't know either. Yep.
Yeah, because the left tackle competition was over with before anyone could really see any, I guess, snaps in preseason, joint practice snap. No one could see it because they ended it so quick. Nobody really knows anything about Jordan Morgan as a left tackle. They've seen him take some snaps at guard, but not at the left tackle position. So I think if Sheed performs the way he has, then I don't see how he gets bumped out of it. The 37 starts, it's hard to just discredit that. That's the thing. He's proven he can do it. He's done it against high-end rushers. He's going to have to, for some way, shape, or form, fumble it, right? That, and I don't want to say that lightly because that's a negative connotation to it, but that is the way he does not win this job, is that he underperforms. If he underperforms in camp, he opens the door wide open. And that's the way this goes. He has to attack this thing the same way he did last year and go into the mindset of I have to perform every practice at the highest level possible. Every snap is being evaluated. Everything I'm doing is being evaluated. And if he goes into it that way, the chances of him claiming his spot are high. And with Jordan Morgan, if I'm him, I'm thinking I have to exceed everything.
He's going to have to.
Yes.
Yep. And Blue, I know we got to let you go. I think he needs to show that he is a dominant run blocker. And if he is not doing that, I think it's going to be Rasheed Walker back at left tackle. And I think that's what will end up happening. I just don't know when. We'll see. Those comments kind of lead you in that, Mark. But, Blue, we appreciate you filling in for me tomorrow. And, as always, thanks for your time.
All right, guys. Have a good one, Tausch. Have a good summer sabbatical, man.
I will. Oh, I will, and I need it.
We'll catch
All right,
up
guys.
with you tomorrow.
Take it easy.
Thanks so much. Brian Bulaga, he is the cousin sub of the day tomorrow as Tausch's summer sabbatical begins. That might be a record for his shortest appearance ever on Wilde and Tausch.
And it was still long.
Somehow we still found a way for that to be the case, yes. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst with Jason Wilde in attendance, wrapping up. Head coach Matt LaFleur about to take to the podium as well. That's where Jason is until he rejoins the show coming up around 10:30 as Packers training camp practice gets started. Day one of training camp 2025. Tausch, when we were at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford a few weeks ago, we put some wagers down, feeling pretty good about what this Packers season might look like.
Have a lot of fun opportunities with the G&G. And you know what? The new Hard Rock Casino Rockford features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, 1,300 slots, 50 live table games, and that sports book. And if you're hungry, diverse dining options all over the place at Hard Rock Cafe, Council Oaks Steak and Seafood, and, of course, my favorite, the UU Noodle Bar. Head on down. It's about an hour from Madison to a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
Training Camp 2025, Day 1. And, of course, it all starts with the AmFam Dream Drive opening up here just outside of Lambeau Field. We'll talk plenty more about that as we count down to kickoff of practice number 1. Straight ahead, it's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. American Family Insurance can help protect your dream home for whatever comes next. You can live in your own oasis or your own clubhouse. Whatever you choose, get the right coverage. Save up to 23% by bundling home and auto. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A legal battle unfolds. Could Xavier Lucas's departure from Wisconsin affect future college football operations? Following a new House settlement, the NCAA turning to a sports commission group to take over. Hurricanes beat writer Alex Donald laying out more on the matter during his appearance on the Jump Around.
We don't know exactly how they're going to operate because we don't have a history. Like, is the College Sports Commission going to put a bullseye on Miami and say, you know what, we really want to investigate to set an example against tampering or alleged tampering? Or is the commission, going to kind of sit on their hands? We don't really know.
For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella experience. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years if you order by July 31st at PellaWI.com.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit MapleHillGolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Get ready for Germanfest, carnival style. Sink your teeth into Spanferkel. Cheer on the tiny racers at the Dachshund Derby. and dance the night away with Vox Club, Juhé Austiro, and top bands from around the country. Don't miss the colorful parade, and on Saturday night, wear your best costume for the Masquerade Ball at the Miller Stage. Eat, drink, schunkel, and make it your tradition at Germanfest. For more information and online tickets, visit germanfest.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Tausch back with you. Training Camp 2025 opening day in Green Bay. Jesse and Tausch for the time being. Jason Wilde in attendance for Packers head coach Matt LaFleur's press conference meeting with the media right now. Of course, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst met a little bit earlier with the media. A lot of interesting things to say. We're going to dive into that plenty as Jason rejoins the show coming up at about 10:30 as we get started with Training Camp 2025. In the meantime, it's Jesse and Tausch, and it is our pleasure now to be joined by the person who helped start the festivities as good as anybody. And that is Sharina Smith, the Chief Marketing Officer at American Family Insurance, joining us on Wilde and Tausch. Sharina, thank you so much for stopping by the Tundra Trio. Thank you for being here. How was opening up Dream Drive before the rain started coming down just moments ago? Perfect weather for you as you opened it up a few minutes ago.
With the right support, any dream is possible. So we got the right support. We didn't have the rain. It held off for us. It was it was perfect, actually, for that 15 minutes.
Tausch, you usually love being up here for Dream Drive. Yeah, you take it from here.
I do. Sharina, we have had Dan Kelly up, Rich Steffens. Yep. We always ask, they give you that huge scissors to kind of embark the opening of it. Did you get that, and how did it go if you did?
Okay, in my defense, Mark Murphy has had many years of practice over me. This was my first time. I got a little bit of the ribbon cut, but unfortunately, I'm going to probably need to try again next year.
Oh, no! We're back to having scissors issues.
Okay, so it obviously, those big scissors, they get everybody. Dan struggled when he first did it. We did get it cut, and it is open.
We got it cut. It is open. I got a little help on the side from a friend, and so we got it done.
That is fantastic.
How does this continue to be a thing every year?
Big scissors are tough.
I even had coaching. Before we started, they pulled me aside. She's like, okay, this is what you do. You open them, and then you close them on the ribbon. Silly me. I was like, of course that's what you do.
Well, you know what's great? Experience, and next year I'm sure you're going to crush it. But, Sharina, obviously it's a great partnership with the Green Bay Packers and American Family Insurance. And when I played, having the bikes and the kids, and this is something that's been really important to American Family Insurance. And it is the best tradition that I've seen throughout any NFL training camp. Why is it so important for American Family Insurance to be a partner on this?
Yeah, I said earlier today, our mission is to inspire, protect, and restore dreams. We believe in supporting communities. We believe in supporting family and really creating an opportunity for kids to see what it would be like to have a dream come true. Dream Drive really brings all of that to life. It is really the opening of the season and the culmination for our relationship with the Packers, our relationship with the Green Bay community. And we just can't think of a better way to celebrate that partnership.
Dream Drive opens up. Tucker Kraft was the first one through we saw on our social media platforms. What a great representative of the Green Bay Packers to help kick off the Dream Drive. When you see those players interacting with those kids, and even Tucker Kraft, the first one through, it could be somebody who may not have expectations to make the roster at the end of training camp, but they get to experience this all the same. We talk about the experience for the kids, but for the players, it's equally as awesome, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't met any players who don't love that opportunity to spend time with the kids, to help show a kid like what it feels like and to be a part of this experience with them. So I think that speaks volumes for not just the players, but also just for the full Green Bay Packers club and family.
Yeah, it's what's great about it is there's a lot of relationships that have been formed throughout the years. I mean, I can remember looking back and seeing Reggie White riding a bike down to training. It's the tradition of it, and then you give a kid a Gatorade, and those memories, it really rings throughout the community, and that's obviously American Family Insurance, all of the things that they do within the community. Another one, Jordan Love, the brand ambassador. We saw him up at the AmFam Championship mingling with fans, and he has been a great ambassador for you guys, and just the excitement that he brings when he walks into a room. You have to be really excited about that partnership as well.
We are thrilled for that partnership and the relationship that we have with Jordan. I mean, he is the true embodiment of what we think of when we say a dream champion. He has a great story with how his career really has blossomed and grown with the Packers. He, to your point, has been an amazing ambassador for us. We have some great commercials that we did with him last year. We have new work that will premiere this year with the beginning of the season. We're also keeping with the whole spirit of Dream Drive. I'm not going to give too much away, but we are keeping with the spirit of Dream Drive in that we have kids on bikes. And it's a lot of fun, similar to the spot that we had last year.
I like the sound of that. That's sounding pretty good. Can't wait to see some of that new stuff coming up. Sharina, before we let you go, I know it's a busy day here with training camp practice kicking off here in just a few minutes. Anything else you want to share about your experience, whether it's scissors related or otherwise, opening up Dream Drive here this morning in Green Bay?
Well, my advice is take the training. When they coach you on how to use the scissors, don't blow it off. Pay attention. It's real. As I said, we're truly excited to be here in Green Bay. We think of ourselves as being pillars of this community, supporting this community, not just through Dream Drive today, but also throughout the year with the draft, throughout the season. And it is truly our pleasure, and we are proud of the relationship that we have here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sharina. Sharina Smith, Chief Marketing Officer of American Family Insurance, joining us on Wilde and Tausch as the AmFam Dream Drive helps open up Training Camp 2025 here in Green Bay. There was some pressure on Sharina to cut the ribbon this morning. Tausch, no pressure. We're going to ask you to tell everyone about American Family Insurance while the Chief Marketing Officer is right here on the show with us.
Ooh, that is pressure, but it's not, because great company, always involved in the community. We just mentioned Dream Drive opening up all those dreams for the kids to meet their favorite players and coaches, and also Kids Corner down at AmFam Field. Make a game day a dream for the whole family at the parking lot patio during Kids Day. Before first pitch, head down to the clock tower entrance outside American Family Field and let the fun begin. From free face painting and temporary tattoos to photo ops, yard games, free giveaways, and live music from local DJs, it is the perfect pregame stop for families. Come early, have fun, and make it a day to remember. And it's all thanks to American Family Insurance.
How do you do, Sharina?
Well done.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it.
Let us know if you want to come be on the marketing team.
Sounds great.
Sharina, thanks again for stopping by the Tundra Trio here. We really appreciate it, and thanks for all you do with the Dream Drive.
Thank you.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch live from Green Bay, which will include kickoff of the first Packers training camp practice of 2025, starts in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Training camp is finally here for the Green Bay Packers, and ESPN Wisconsin will be live from Green Bay today. As again, we'll have Wilde and Tausch up there from Green Bay until noon, and then Jim, Matt, and Molly will be right here on 100.5 ESPN Madison from noon until 2. You can also go over to the ESPN Madison YouTube channel where Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe will also be live from noon until 2 p.m. On to Major League Baseball, there's no free cheeseburgers in Milwaukee as the Brewers' winning streak came to an end at 11 games last night. The Brew Crew fell to the Mariners 1-0. The game was scoreless until the 6th when Cal Raleigh, went yard for the eventual game winner. The Brewers will have a chance to win the series this afternoon. First pitch will be at 2:40. Coverage starts at 2:04 after Jim, Matt, and Molly. Hour 2 of Wilde and Tausch starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Always one of our most action-packed days of 2025. Packers training camp, day 1. Feels like the first day of school here up in Green Bay. Jesse and Tausch for the time being on Wilde and Tausch. Jason Wilde in attendance at the press conferences for both Packers GM Brian Gutekunst and head coach Matt LaFleur, still meeting with the media right now as they get set for the start of training camp practice number 1 about 20 minutes from now, right across the street as you're watching on our video stream on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you find us, over at Ray Nitschke Field or maybe in the Hudson Center. It is starting to rain a little bit here in Green Bay. I know there were some bad storms coming through the central part of the state today. Not sure if that's going to impact practice coming up here in a little bit or not. We will find out when Jason Wilde rejoins the show in about 20 minutes, sharing his insights and observations here in Green Bay as Packers training camp practice number 1 gets underway. Special thanks again to Sharina Smith, the Chief Marketing Officer of American Family Insurance, for joining us in the 9 o'clock hour, as did former Packers offensive lineman and tomorrow's cousin sub of the day for Tausch, Brian Bulaga. We talked a lot of offensive line with Blue, Tausch. Elton Jenkins dealing with a back thing. I'm thinking about going home today and telling Becca I'm dealing with a back thing. I can't dust the living room like she wants me to do. Seeing some inspiration from what Brian Gutekunst said at the podium earlier this morning. What do we make of the Elton Jenkins situation?
So I'm not going to poo-poo because I don't know if he has an injury. Just for the record, I'm not going to poo-poo it. But this is the new kind of way that players that are unhappy with their contract handle their business. And I am, just for the record, 100% in support of Elton in figuring out how to go about getting some guarantees for the next couple of years. It is going to come to a head at some point. I think Green Bay is going to be more than happy to let this thing ride for a little bit. But as Brian mentioned, and I said, you're wanting to chase a championship. You want to be the best football team you can be. Elton Jenkins needs to be your starting center, and he needs to be out there practicing. And you have to balance that with keeping your, being fiscally responsible with your economics, because you have a lot of young players you're going to have to pay a lot of money to. And they don't like paying 30-year-olds. And by the way, I'm on board with understanding why they do that, because it's right most of the time. So it's a tricky situation. I'm fairly certain that if Elton gets his deal reworked, he'll be practicing. Now, his back might be tight. All of a sudden, you put a little balm on that back, it loosens up, and that balm is guaranteed money. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody knows the game that's going on. and you just want to keep it as cordial as you can until you can't. And I don't know when that deadline is going to be, but I don't think it's on the 23rd of July.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. Okay, so there's a question here from Greg in Madison. I'm going to present it, Tausch, and I'll let you address it however you choose to do so. Any chance the Elton Jenkins delay is due to a trade being worked out for Trey Hendrickson since the Bengals need to upgrade their offensive line?
I'm not going to say there's not a chance. You have two players that aren't happy with their deals. I feel fairly certain Cincinnati would be more than happy paying Elton Jenkins 2 or 3 more years to have him protecting Joe Burrow. So I've heard of crazier ideas. I mean, Rutledge wanted to trade Peralta for what's-his-face down in Arizona.
Suarez.
I've heard of crazier ideas. So do I think that's the case? And again, the issue I have is trading Elton Jenkins is not helping you become a champion. Bringing in Trey Hendrickson will help you, but Elton Jenkins, this offensive line shuffle and the pay that you just gave to Banks is dependent on Elton Jenkins being your center. So I think from Cincinnati's end, I could see it making a lot more sense than from Green Bay's end. And no, I don't think that is what's going on. I think what's going on is both sides are trying to figure out, okay, understand what you want. We're not giving you that. You understand that we just want you to play this out, and you don't want that. How can we figure out a way that both sides, that you'll come back and play and feel better about it than what you do right now? And I think that's eventually what will happen. But getting rid of Elton Jenkins is not helping you win a championship. All you have to do, go back and look at that Philadelphia Eagle playoff game. This team couldn't function. Now, they hopefully are going to be better equipped to do that. And if you remember, nobody would have thought that Josh Sitton would have not have been the starting left guard back in whatever year that was, 2016. Stuff happens. Feelings can get hurt, and people make decisions. So I'm not saying lock, stock, Elton Jenkins will be the center. All I'm saying is you're going to be a better football team if Elton Jenkins is here. Cooler heads will prevail. They're going to figure something out, and he'll be your center for the Green Bay Packers. But if it doesn't, this little trade scenario, hey, man, we deal in hypotheticals. LaFleur doesn't, Goody doesn't, and they shouldn't. Sports Talk does. And that hypothetical would be very interesting on both sides of it, but Cincinnati would win that trade, in my opinion.
A lot of different stages of life for all the players taking part in Training Camp 2025. Practice number 1 about to get underway here in just a little bit. Rumor has it Jason Wilde's going to make a quick pit stop by here at the Tundra Trio before practice gets underway. So we're going to hold off playing trivia for the time being. We were going to do that next. We're going to hold off to see if Jason's able to stop by here in the next moments. But for every stage of life, Tausch, UW Credit Union is there for every you.
You just stole my first line, but you are correct. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals, and they got you covered. If you want to keep your banking local like I do, if you want member-first service like I do, and if you love great perks like I do, UW Credit Union has it all. And you got to love Bucky. They are associated with Bucky. They've been a part of the University of Wisconsin for a long time. And if you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make you do crazy things, but boy, does this just make sense. Become a UW Credit Union member today. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
By the way, the Packers not the only team helping kick off their season today in one manner or another. Training camp practice number 1 starting in just a few minutes across the street here in Green Bay. Out in Las Vegas, Big Ten Football Media Day. Luke Fickell meeting with the media at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Quarterback Billy Edwards Jr., among other players, in attendance as well. So we get to learn a little from the head coach this afternoon about where Wisconsin football stands heading into the 2025 season. Officially, the first thing that really gets the season started. Big Ten Football Media Day happening this afternoon out in Las Vegas. Luke Fickell meets at 2 o'clock. We'll talk plenty about what he has to say in the coming days, in addition to all the great Packers stuff going on. And, of course, the Brewers with the best record in baseball. No big deal, even though they lost last night, snapping an 11-game win winning streak. Jason Wilde joins the show, I think, next here in Green Bay. Packers training camp practice 2025 about to get underway. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. You know I've loved Pizza Hut since the days back when I was in school participating in the legendary Book It program. The summer was always a great time to get in some extra time reading to earn some great Pizza Hut pizza. And now my summer survival kit in Madison is a little different. A cooler full of drinks, a comfy lawn chair, and a large Hut Lovers pizza from Pizza Hut for just $12.99. Choose from 4 loaded legends: meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, veggie lovers, and the new spicy Hawaiian. It's your summer go-to. Hot, melty, and made to crush hunger. Order before it's gone on the Pizza Hut app. Limited time only. Additional charge for extra toppings, pan, stuffed crust, and extra cheese. A large Hut Lovers pizza for just $12.99 for a limited time at Pizza Hut. Nobody out-pizzas the Hut.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Seattle Mariners,
and the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Double-digit strikeouts for Quinn Priester. He's got 10.
Today on 100.5 ESPN.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, "Hey, how'd you pull this off?" Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda Civic Sport hatchback for as low as $289 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
Get ready for Germanfest, carnival style. Sink your teeth into Spanferkel, cheer on the tiny racers at the Dachshund Derby, and dance the night away with Vox Club, Juhe aus Tirol, and top bands from around the country. Don't miss the colorful parade, and on Saturday night, wear your best costume for the masquerade ball at the Miller Stage. Eat, drink, schunkel, and make it your tradition at Germanfest. For more information and online tickets, visit Germanfest.com.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
First of all, I love bringing this to the public.
The Rich Eisen Show.
NFC North, top to bottom. You could say this is the best this division has ever been.
Coming September 2nd on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
quick change of plans. Jason Wilde not yet here at the Thunder Trio in Green Bay.
Slow walker, huh?
Apparently he's not moving as fast. I don't know if he's lost a step or if he just got held up talking to Domofsky or any of his beat writer brethren who he has not been around for a few weeks here.
Well, let's go through
summer.
Yeah, let's go through a few of the other news and notes that was newsworthy from. I haven't seen anything from LaFleur yet. I saw obviously Bo Melton, DB only.
Yeah, that's
there
big.
was talk of him being Travis Hunter. He switched numbers to number 16, and he is only going to be playing defensive back. It's obviously going to be an uphill battle for him to make the squad as a DB. My guess, because of his special teams prowess and that versatility, Matt LaFleur loves Bo Melton. They want him on this team. They saw what we see is that he ain't going to make it as wideout, so give him an opportunity. Now, it is not easy. It's hard enough to play defensive back when you've been a defensive back for all of college and high school and then most of your pro. He hadn't done it. So they want him to do it. I think they're going to lean on his special teams to give him time to grow into that. But for all of the Packer fans that say, well, what are you doing how are you getting better in the defensive backfield? If the answer is you got to put 16 out there to shut down Amon St. Brown and everybody else, I can understand why you'd think, what the hell are we doing here? But this is something you see that they got 13 wideouts. It seems like it's now 12. Bo Melton's exclusively playing defense. Give him an opportunity to get better and better and hopefully find a way to earn a roster spot this season.
So what would be the worst case scenario between these two? Ladarius Gunter on Julio Jones in the NFC Championship game in 2016, or Bo Melton on A.J. Brown in the NFC Championship game in 2026?
I am not going to say anything about Bo Melton's a good football player. Is he going to be a good defensive back?
He was a fine player.
Ladarius Gunter was fine. It just was a tough matchup. Julio Jones in his prime was a tough matchup for everybody. So A.J. Brown's a really good player. I don't want Bo Melton guarding A.J. Brown. I don't think Green Bay is in that spot.
I don't think Jeff Hafley
No, I don't
wants
think
it.
anyone does.
I don't think Bo wants
So I guess you can only go off of Green Bay and where we were at with Ladarius against Julio. It wasn't good.
No.
It was bad. So take that for what it's worth. I think it's a I don't want either is the correct answer in this scenario.
I am worried about Bo Melton's future with the team coming out of training camp if he has made the full conversion to the point where his number has changed. I guess you can interpret that one of two ways. Either it's really good for him because he's all in on that and they're going to find a spot for him because they like him so much, like you said, or it's a last-ditch effort to try and preserve any way you can to remain on the roster in the National Football League. And there's other guys who are going to be more experienced at that position who have played it a lot longer than he has, battling for a chance to stay on the roster. So I guess we'll see how that plays out throughout the training camp.
Another quip that Goody mentioned in his press conference that leads credence to my Halloween prediction for Christian Watson.
I figured you were going to want to talk about this.
He is chomping to get out there. He is starting on the PUP list or NFI or whatever list that they put him on. So he's not going to start camp. I am going to be really interested if he can find a way to get off that list before camp ends. Because I am old enough to remember these conversations all offseason. Oh, Rashawn Gary's not going to be back until da-da-da-da-da. And Rashawn Gary's practicing. And he ended up limited amount of snaps early in the season. Christian Watson is going to be chomping to get out there and play. And while you don't think it's a big deal, Jesse, that he doesn't make that big of a difference on this offense, I do. I think he is a stretcher, a big play opportunity guy, and somebody that they want. The issue that I see, they're going to be super conservative with his rehab. He had the surgery probably in late January. That leaves you at 6 or 7 months. You probably want a little bit more. And the fact that with this roster, giving yourself 5 or 6 weeks isn't going to be a bad thing because you can kind of stash him away, let him keep rehabbing. that is another storyline that is going to be interesting to watch because Christian Watson's going to push the training staff and the docs and everybody else that he wants to get out there. How is Green Bay going to handle that? Because at some point, players know their bodies better than anybody else. You have to save players from themselves sometimes, but Christian Watson's going to want to go eat. It's just a matter of when, how that plays out.
Tausch, why don't you tell us about Kohler Services? The summer is over with our Wilde and Tausch summer tour. You were in Salem Lakes just last week helping remodel a bathroom with Kohler Services.
Yes, and if you're looking for a bath or shower remodel, there is nowhere but Kohler Services to do that. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, you can get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel, and you don't have any interest financing for 12 months. You visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation. Well, that is always included. Again, that is KohlerServicesWI.com.
Jason Wilde is in the building here at the Tundra Trio just outside of Lambeau Field and across the street from the Hudson Center, Ray Nitschke Field, and Packers Training Camp Practice 2025. Jason will tell us what he found to be most interesting from the press conferences for Packers GM Brian Gutekunst and head coach Matt LaFleur before he heads over to practice. That's all coming up next. Packers Training Camp opening day. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on July 29th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third down.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in July 29th at 6:40 on WISC TV in Madison, or check your local listings to watch the game. All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Play where the Badgers play and enjoy a round at University Ridge Golf Course, the official course of the University of Wisconsin. It's easy to see why University Ridge is consistently rated one of the best public courses in Wisconsin, winning awards every year since 1992. Whether it's a tournament, corporate event, or just a golf outing with family and friends, University Ridge Golf Course will make sure you have an enjoyable golf experience from start to finish. Book your tee time today at universityridge.com. That's universityridge.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Mizorowski deals. Struck him out. A heater at 101.
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Back and watching it sail. It's a grand slam.
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com, because your next Mercedes Sprinter van is waiting for you.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
All right, so I put Tausch in a pressure situation earlier by doing an American Family Insurance live read here on the show while the chief marketing officer of American Family Insurance was
Is David Gruber coming on now?
Crushed it.
I've been asked to host the show while Jason is on the show, and that never happens, so that's a little awkward.
Well, in fairness to you, once I go to practice in a little while, you're donezo.
I'm out of here. Yeah,
because we're not going to have you on delay.
Yeah, that was weird.
Barely can see you.
We try things around
it wasn't
here.
good.
Experimental.
We try. Yeah.
Matt LaFleur and Goody, on the other hand, I thought both very good, Tausch, and had a bit of a dust up with the head coach at the end.
I'm sure you did.
Using your great question, he didn't like the way I set it up. So we went back and forth a little bit. He gave me a hard time for always asking the one extra question after Waller says two more, and we get two. Then I always ask another one, which, hey, that's on brand.
Why are you
That's your
always trying
brand.
to stir stuff up, Jason?
That's your brand.
So we'll get to that during the 11 o'clock hour when I go down to practice. It is drizzling currently. Looking at the Weather Channel radar.
That big Wilde and Tausch hat would fit really good today.
It would have been nice.
But it would be ruined, Jerry.
Would have pretended
Ruined, Jerry. No, it would have been fine.
So I do want to get to that during the 11 o'clock hour, but you guys did not get to listen, obviously, to our more than half hour between the two of them.
No.
You saw some of the highlights, obviously.
Yeah, a lot of offensive line talk, it looked like.
Yeah, for you and Bulaga and Tausch, and for us in the press conferences. But again, as I did set up my question to Matt LaFleur, the only clear-cut starting job competition that we know about today is for left tackle. And beyond that, it'll be interesting to see how other things play out. That was what got him going. I will say this. He was more honest about the Elton question than I had expected or hoped. I thought it was interesting that he basically acknowledged that there's guys throughout the league that aren't happy in their situations and that you work through it. So it's not just Elton who feels that way. I think we've seen that in the headlines over the last several days as camps have opened. But he claims that once this back issue clears up, Elton plans on practicing. So I don't know what they've told him. I don't know how Elton feels about that. We will go into that, and I thought of you when the coach said this. We will go into that sexy locker room, and we will talk to him about, and hopefully talk to Elton about his situation.
Well, I'll say this, Jason. You know what the best balm for a bad back is, right?
Money. Money is the best balm.
You got to get a little balm, right?
I said balm.
Yeah, added cash. Added cash balm. Added ACB. Added cash balm. That's what you're looking for.
We'll see if he gets that balm, and we'll see.
Hey, Jason, you know what the thing? And I was not there. I was just looking at Domofsky was tweeting, and it didn't look like he didn't get called out like Vrabel called out the reporter for not listening. By the way, if a reporter makes a mistake, they can be held accountable too.
No doubt.
FYI.
Absolutely should be. We should be. No doubt about it.
I thought the interesting one, I have been of the belief, you mentioned the only competition. We talked when we did it live while Bulaga was on. It sounds as if Rasheed Walker's going to have to kind of fill his britches, or old boy's going to have to really make a big jump, or Rasheed Walker's going to be your starting left tackle when they go to play Detroit.
Well, not Shido, which I didn't know was his nickname. I feel like I've heard that once before, but when we were talking about nicknames a week or two ago amid the Miz, I'm not sure Shido is really one of my favorites. But if it works for Rasheed Walker, great. I would say this. The way Matt LaFleur then subsequently talked after Goody, it sounded to me like Jordan Morgan is competing at right guard and left tackle simultaneously, and they're going to have him work at both spots. Now, again, I don't know that for certain. Matt LaFleur was a little unclear on that, but he did mention guard as well. So, again, Rasheed Walker has played a heck of a lot of football for this team. He
37 starts.
Saved their
37.
Saved their bacon when David Bakhtiari was only able to play in Chicago and never played again in 2023. So I would hope that Ty goes to the incumbent, and I would hope that he would have to not only would Jordan Morgan have to win the job, but Rasheed Walker would have to lose it, and that there would be a significant disparity there.
I am smelling very similar thoughts to last year, because you remember last year we did this show and it was very similar. Oh, we're going to see left tackle spot. And then literally day 2, they're like, Sheed's our starter. Jordan's going to compete with Ryan at guard. I'm betting by the middle of next week, y'all are going to be talking about him competing at right guard. It's just the vibe that I just got from listening to you and listening and seeing the quotes that Goody said. Sounds to me like that. If you're already talking about having him do right guard again, this thing's over.
Yeah, I two things I would say to that. One, I love that because it tells me that him being a first-round pick is not a factor in who's going to win the left tackle job. Like that's all you ask for. You tell me, Tausch. That's all you ask for as a player, though, right? Is that
you want a chance to have a chance.
Right, no matter
chance to have a chance.
No matter where you were drafted, no matter what the expectations are on you, you want to be given the opportunity, and then whatever you do with it is up to you. And so, as I'd said when we would talk about this competition previously, I hate the idea of if it's a draw that the tiebreaker would be, well, he's our first round pick, we got to get him on the field. That would really, and I don't think that's good for your locker room if that were to be the case either.
Well, Jason, just think about Apollo Creed and Sylvester Stallone and Rocky 1. The thing ended up being a draw, right? And Rocky felt good about it, but Apollo was still the champ, but he spent every last waking hour trying to talk Rocky into coming back out. So, but the incumbent wants to also knock out the challenger. Now, eventually you want to have the title and you want to have all the accolades, but you want it to be a no-brainer. Like it was last year. He doesn't want to see Rocky 1. He wants to see it more. I don't even know. He obviously doesn't want to be Rocky 2.
Well, now
because then
so
he gets
Rocky,
knocked out and he loses.
I'm not following.
So Rocky 1, Apollo wins on decision.
Yeah. Rocky lost Rocky 1.
And then they go to hospital at
but
the start
he didn't
of Rocky.
really lose. In the public
he
opinion,
won by
he
staying
really
right. He won by lasting 15 rounds against the champ and it being close.
He went the distance.
But he lost.
Rocky 2 picks
Not
up
really,
again
though.
because we're big on old references. This is even older than Dallas, I believe. Right? I think Rocky 1 was 76, which is a year before Tausch was even born.
Yeah.
Rocky 2 picks up. They're at the hospital. And they're like both getting like examined after the fight, and they're talking. They're already thinking rematch. And then Rocky 2 ends with them both going to the canvas and Rocky gets up before Apollo does. Your lighting sucks in here.
Don't worry, the YouTube comments are letting us know. Yes, the natural light is fluctuating outside.
I've never looked better. I want to get to my second point, though, before
Yeah.
I assume we need to get to break, so we have one more segment, and then I'll leave.
Whenever you want to go to practice, you take us to break when you're ready.
All right, so
just don't tell us about Gruber before
I will.
you do that.
I will definitely do that. But the other part of this is I love the idea of Jordan Morgan competing with Sean Ryan because, look, Sean Ryan makes it very difficult to get an audio clip that is legally able to be played on our show because he works in the F word like some artists work in clay or oils. But he also makes it very difficult for anybody who wants to take his job. And they have done everything they can to try and give his job away, and he has answered the bell every time. So that would be an interesting competition, too. And if it comes down to it, he is Rocky. If it comes down to it, if Jordan Morgan is the sixth man, I know that's not ideal because he's a first-round pick, but having played the offensive line yourself and having played with guys that were tough hombres, even the toughest offensive linemen generally can't get through a season all 17 games now. And it's certainly not all 5 for all 17 games. So he's
yeah,
but
I'm going to be honest with you. Jason, that I agree, and I think from a depth standpoint that's great. But I think when they made the decision to pay Zach Tom, they basically said they're not going to pay Sheed.
No, I agree. Or Sean Ryan, I would bet.
Or probably Sean Ryan. I don't know about that as much, but what I will say is I don't think it will go over well, both with Jordan and with fans, if your first-round pick in year 2 is still a swing guy. Because now, where is he going to play? If something happens to Zach Tom, they'll put him in at right tackle, right guard. He would be probably at left guard, or depending if somebody emerges as center. Jordan Morgan, this is a big camp for him.
Yeah,
I think he needs to grab one of these 2 starting spots, or there's going to be a lot of disappointment. Now, I've seen plenty of players continue to work and get better and play in year 3. But first-round picks, they maybe will sit the first year. They don't sit the second year. That is not going to be the preferred outcome, both of the front office and of Jordan Morgan. It will be, obviously, for Sean Ryan and for Sheeto, but that doesn't mean that's what is in the best interest, especially for the Green Bay Packers, if their first-round pick is going to be a swing guy the whole time.
Yeah, if he doesn't win the job, what is going to happen is he is going to go in as the sixth man wherever somebody goes down. And if for some reason it's Elton at center, they're going to move Sean Ryan. He's going to go to right guard. He's going to play everywhere but center. And he could end up playing 12 games.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that's the best interest either. You hope that Jacob Monk emerges and can be a backup center, because if he ain't going to be here.
Yeah, that's a distinct possibility, too. So, we're on day 1. They don't even put the pads on until Sunday. So even the offensive line stuff that we'll see today, tomorrow, and Friday will be muted. It will certainly not be what you got into the first. We were talking about this with Goody earlier. Rob Reichel brought up that once upon a time Don Shula was doing 4-a-days. 25 years ago, Mike Sherman, and you were a rookie on that team, was doing 51 practices and pads in the morning, pads in the afternoon for 4 straight days. And the question was whether or not Goody gets enough intel to make the best decisions with the roster. And he was, he said, you have what you have, essentially. But, with the joint practices, the truth is he doesn't have nearly the same information that Ron had, that Ted had early in his tenure. He just doesn't. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is that when those guys have the pads on, that's when they'll be looking closest. And that's when we'll see what this offensive line competition shakes out as.
So you're going to head over to practice now. Is that my understanding?
Well, I'm going to head over to find an umbrella first, and then I'm going to head over to practice because I do believe we'll be out in the rain. And unlike those soft old days when Tausch used to play and it started to rain a little bit and all the little guys that were made of sugar had to run inside the Hudson Center to finish practice, Matt LaFleur keeps them practicing in the rain. McCarthy did that to some degree, right, Tausch?
Tough guys. Oh, those are tough guys. Yeah, we stayed. And by the way, you think I didn't want to play in the rain rather than that sweat box in the Hudson Center? Let it rain, baby, all day. Hello?
I think we lost him, Tausch.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you while we take a quick trip and get stuff settled up. I will tell you about Quick Trip and climbing to the top. Gear up for Quick Trip Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip gets you closer to the summit. Now through August 17th. Play every day for free in the Quick Rewards app, and you can score bonus plays with every eligible item that you grab, like a Pepsi, a Mountain Dew, Gatorade. You can earn 2 extra bonus plays, and the cash prize climbs by $5,000. Higher and higher until you reach that top prize of $250,000. Get climbing now in the Quick Rewards app. And all kinds of specials going on at Quick Trip. As always, the Quick White Bread, 99 cents a loaf. Nature's Touch Ice Cream, buy 1 pint for $3.99. You get 1 for free. And those beautiful bacon-wrapped pork loins for $5. Life is busy. Quick Trip gets it. Quick Trip is your one stop for variety, quality, and fast service. Head on down. Remember to download the Quick Rewards app and take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Quick Trip, we'll see you next time. We'll try to get reconnected with Jesse. Jason's heading down to practice. Lot of interesting stuff from Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur today in their opening season press conference. Packers season is underway, and so are we here on Wilde and Tausch.
First of all, I love bringing this to the public.
The Rich Eisen Show.
NFC North, top to bottom. You could say this is the best this division has ever been.
Coming September 2nd on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus.
What's in your summer survival kit? Mark Tauscher here, and I'll tell you what should be. A cooler full of drinks, a comfy lawn chair, and for just $12.99, a large Hut Lovers pizza from Pizza Hut. For a limited time, choose from 4 loaded legends, meat lovers, pepperoni lovers, veggie lovers, and the spicy Hawaiian for just $12.99. Hot, melty, and made to crush hunger. A perfect summer go-to order. Order up before it's gone on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, nobody out-pizzas the Hut. Additional charge for extra toppings, pan, stuffed crust, and extra cheese.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Sleep better with Tempur-Pedic at Steinhoffels. Queen hybrids from $52 per month plus $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Shop now in-store or online. Could Xavier Lucas's departure from Wisconsin affect future college football operations? Following a new House settlement, the NCAA turning to a sports commission group to take over. Hurricanes beat writer Alex Sano laying out more on the matter during his appearance on the Jump Around.
We don't know exactly how they're going to operate. Like, is the College Sports Commission going to put a bullseye on Miami and say, you know what, we really want to investigate to set an example against tampering or alleged tampering, or is the commission going to sit on their hands? We don't really know.
For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella experience. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years if you order by July 31st at PellaWI.com.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Get ready for Germanfest, carnival style. Sink your teeth into Spanferkel, cheer on the tiny racers at the Dachshund Derby, and dance the night away with Vox Club, Juhe aus Tirol, and top bands from around the country. Don't miss the colorful parade, and on Saturday night, wear your best costume for the masquerade ball at the Miller Stage. Eat, drink, schunkel, and make it your tradition at Germanfest. For more information and online tickets, visit GermanFest.com.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
The ESPN Madison Open presented by Coors Light is back. On Monday, August 4th, the ESPN Madison crew is packing their bags and teeing off at TPC, Wisconsin for a day on the links. This year's Open is benefiting Mentoring Positives, a nonprofit based right here in Madison dedicated to uplifting youth and families through mentoring, athletics, and youth entrepreneurship. The ESPN Madison Open is also brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Starion Bank, Celebrations Entertainment, The Bogey Factory, Bruner Realty, and Hush Blackwell.
We're on the Badgers.
All of these folks that put these projections into the world, I don't think they have them winning 6 games.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
Let this team prove that these projections are bunk.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
Call you up in the middle of the night, like a firefly without a light.
Not sure what our technical glitch was there, but I have abandoned Jesse and headed down to the epicenter of excitement. Tausch, what do you remember? What do you remember of the first day of camp? Both when you were a rookie, and I know you guys came in as rookies earlier than the rest of the team, but what's the vibe on a day like today when you got fans who haven't been here for the entire offseason program, all that kind of stuff? What's the vibe for that?
Yeah, you're excited. There's some anxiousness, but it's mostly you're just happy to be back and you're ready to get to work. And for me, it was always let's just get to it, because then you start falling back into your routine, and that's what why we're such sticklers for routine is because we can control that. There's so many other things you can't control. Players love controlling what they can control, and you'll hear that quote probably more than you'd ever want. So that's the big thing.
Well, as you can perhaps hear, there's already clapping and cheering for the excitement of throwing balls in the nets. And I got to think, there it is again. I got to think that, you and I have talked about this during the offseason program when you're not giving me a hard time for saying that I didn't learn anything from that Thursday practice, which I didn't. But is it changed because the fans are in here? Like, do players actually draw from that? Or is it more just the excitement of being back out here with your guys and you had 6 weeks where you were away from each other? And is that more the vibe than there being all these? I mean, there's a lot of people in the stands, by the way, for practice.
I think the people obviously add to the energy of what you're doing, but are you doing it? You're doing it because you want to get a job and you want to be a part of it. You want to be a part of this team. That's the excitement level. The fans, the fans are an added bonus as far as bringing energy. You love that vibe that they bring. But this comes down to just getting better and trying to make a football team for the guys that aren't, lock, stock starters. That's the main goal of what you're going about doing. And, being with your teammates is another plus. But it's about winning a job. That's what the goal is when you're talking about most players.
So, again, as we've talked about many times and about how different it is from when you were playing, they are in helmets, jerseys, and shorts. It is essentially an OTA, mandatory minicamp style practice. It's a bunch of individual drill work. It's a bunch of, routes on air type work. They're doing, ball security right now where the running backs and the receivers catch a ball, and then the boxing gloves, the coaches are punching at the ball. The working into it at this pace is not great for those of us that want all kinds of excitement and things to write about today, but it is much more beneficial for players, right? I mean, and I know we've talked about this before, but especially on a day like this, the idea of easing your way into it for a player, is that valuable? It's certainly better for you in terms of your, health and injury potential, but is that also good just to get your sea legs to get back into it?
Yeah, that was the other thing that I was just going to say about, like, when you're thinking about, you work hard in the off season and, you're doing all these things. It's not as much, obviously, without pads, but I just always remember conditioning tests, and you do all that the day before, and it was dumb. Like, I'm glad that they've gotten rid of that, because it didn't matter how good a shape you were in. You run a bunch, your legs are going to be tired. And then you go out and try to do 2 practices, and I could just remember we're in pads and, the sweat dripping down into your shoes so that when you'd walk, you'd be like in a rain puddle, but it was dry out. Slop, and then your legs just get heavy by the beginning of those team drills, and you're like, whoa. It slaps you back into reality that you got to work and you got to get reps and you got to do all of the things you need to do. And that's one of the things now that guys, you're keeping your legs fresher. But the thing I'm always worried about is you don't take a ton of reps in the preseason. You don't do it in camp. And then all of a sudden you snap your fingers and you're playing Detroit and you got to take 80 snaps and you got to go on long drives. Have you been tested in those things? And for me as a player, I was. Are these guys. And that's always, but both sides have to worry about those same things. But one of the feelings always was, didn't matter how hard you worked and got in shape, your legs were going to be heavy by the end of those practices when you put pads on for the first time.
That loud cheer you may have heard in the background was for Christian Watson jogging at about half speed with nothing protective on his right knee as he ran past the fans on the far side of the field. And it's the loudest reaction that I've heard since I walked in. Now, I know you guys talked about him a little bit. I don't want to replay the 10 o'clock hour or the 9:30 portion of the show with Brian Bulaga, but having listened to Matt LaFleur and having listened to Goody, I do want to talk a little bit about where Christian is and what the hopes are. He did say very clearly he will not practice fully during training camp. Now, does that mean he won't practice at all? Does that mean he will open the season on the PUP list? We'll get into that during the 11 o'clock hour. I know you guys talked a little bit about Bo Melton. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about my guy. Maybe I took things at face value a little bit too much when I was told them at the mini camp last month. We'll have to talk about that as well coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. We will get to all that and more. I was going to tell you while I was still with Jesse, but circumstances beyond our control prevented it. How about Gruber Law Offices? One call, that's all. David and his team are the best. We still haven't gotten our little situation squared away with our vehicle, but we knew that if we had questions, because we've been in an accident, what we needed to know, David was the one to call, or in my case, text. They're the best. And if you go to gruber-law.com, you'll find out more about the firm, all of David's history, all the great lawyers that are there, including Nick, who helped us through our process, all that and more. And, of course, you always want to make that one call if you need to make it. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. Grid Life is this weekend, July 23rd through the 25th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. Training camp is finally here for the Green Bay Packers, and ESPN Wisconsin is live from Green Bay today. We'll have Wilde down on the sideline for training camp practice with Wilde and Tausch going until noon. And then Jim, Matt, and Molly will be live from noon to 2 up in Green Bay for, again, day one of Packers training camp. On to Major League Baseball. There were no free cheeseburgers in Milwaukee as the Brewers' winning streak came to an end at 11 games last night. The Brew Crew fell to the Mariners 1-0. The game was scoreless until the 6th, until a Cal Raleigh went yard with the eventual game winner. The Brewers will have a chance to win the series this afternoon. First pitch for that game is at 2:40. Coverage will start at 2:04, right after Jim, Matt, and Molly. Hour 3 of Wilde and Tausch starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Looks like all the coaches, Tausch, have these new cut-off, like muscle shirt style hoodies and then the T-shirt underneath. It's almost like the vests you like to wear, except there's obviously not the zipper. Is that an ensemble? Should I see if I can get you one? Is that an ensemble you'd be open to? LaFleur had it for his presser. It's a good look, I think, if you fill it out correctly.
I think that thin, really light material, because obviously these guys are going to be out in the sun for a while. You can put sunscreen on. There's whether or not you want to protect yourself, especially as you get older. So I think that's probably a part of it. But there's also that it's a good look. So I think it's. I'm glad that you mentioned that. And I hope that becomes more hip as we get into the summer months or as we kind of start winding down in the summer. Even though it's going to be 90 blanking degrees, I wouldn't be caught in anything but a T-shirt when it's 90, 95 degrees.
All right, I want to get to Watson and Bo Melton, and then I would like to get to my exchange, because your question was a really good one. Maybe I didn't execute it as well, but I thought I got a great answer once we got through our little back and forth between the head coach and me. But let's start with Christian Watson. You heard the cheer for him just jogging past the fans. Jogging, soft J. And obviously we know, and we've talked about it hundreds of times over the past 3+ years, that this offense is different when he's on the field. The problem is there have been too many times over the years where he wasn't on the field. And I think with what we've seen on social media, what you've talked about in terms of Halloween, what I've talked about being potentially wrong, not being a doctor, that it might not be till November that he would be available to them. There's been a groundswell of optimism. And then we talked to Goody. And I want you to hear exactly what Goody said and tell me if this increases, decreases, or has no effect on your hopes and expectations for when we might see number 9 full go for the Green Bay Packers?
Great. He's a freak, so he did a run test the other day, looked great. Again, it's an ACL and it's a second one, so we're going to take our time with it. I'm sure there's going to be a time where he's really pressing to get out there, but he's going great.
Tausch, feel better, worse, or the same?
The same. I mean, he's saying he's going to say what he needs to say, and I think Christian Watson will push, and I think wisely the Packers will kind of hold off. But the thing that would push me to think that maybe I'll be wrong is you can almost stash guys away on this PUP list, and then help me out again how that works when it comes to final cuts. If they don't practice at all, you can then PUP them in the beginning of the season, give you a 6-week window. They can start practicing maybe week 3, 4, and 5, and it potentially play week 7. That was my mindset because I anticipate him working and pushing and then maybe not even coming off a PUP and then get PUP'd and maybe be ready to play by week 7, 8, which would be around Halloween. That was kind of the thought process I had because they have now 12 wide receivers, a lot of young players. They give you that time, and then Christian could still be back sooner than maybe everybody anticipated, Jason Wilde. And that makes the most sense to me. And I think where Goody's at, he is going to protect Christian Watson. It's his second big injury. How you go about doing that and keeping Christian Watson where he doesn't get discouraged, that's going to be the tricky part of it. But I think that formula allows him to get out and start practicing, not counting against the roster. That makes the most sense to me, and that's why I made the prediction that I did.
So to your point, they've got a couple of options. It has evolved, obviously, especially in the years following COVID, where they expanded the options for bringing guys back from injured reserve. If you get put on injured reserve during training camp, historically you were done for the season. And that has been the case with several players. That's what they did with A.J. Dillon a year ago, for example. But they do have the option of putting him on having him practice in some capacity, still putting him on IR, and then using that same kind of approach of, okay, he's got to miss 4 games minimum, then you can start having him, you can open the practice window, etc. PUP means that he would not practice at all in training camp. Once you've practiced, it means you've passed your physical, and it means that you are no longer eligible for the PUP list. The way Goody answered, and it wasn't in that answer, it was in the other answer that he had, it did sound to me, he flat out said he will not practice in full in camp. Now, does that mean that he might practice in some lesser capacity and they take the PUP off the table? Maybe, but I'm going to guess not. And to your point, and I think stashing is a pretty good word, you still have him. You still know you're going to have him. And then you get to dictate when you open the 21-day practice window. You can open it after 4 games. You can open it after 6 games.
After 2 games.
Right.
Yeah.
Whenever you want to, you can open it. And then from there, you have 21 days, and then you have to make a decision.
Keep whatever's cold. Yeah. Anything you want to keep cold, you can put in there.
So it'll be interesting to see how it unspools for him this summer. Now, on the flip side of it, no, I'm sorry. Did you? I'm trying to multitask.
I had a great joke that.
Did you?
No, I
did
had
you
a great
want?
joke.
Did you? Yeah, that was fantastic. I'm sorry that I didn't give you your just desserts for how good it was, but
I know you got a lot going on.
The multitasking is a little bit, trying to watch and talk and chew gum and all that kind of good stuff. All right. So the other person I want to talk about here, and then hopefully we can have our little.
Well, Jason, before you get into the other person you want to talk about, what do you think is going to happen? You can.
I think he's going to.
There's body language. He's going to get pupped.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's the safest way to do it, and also, and look, I know you had 2 ACLs, but were they the same leg or were they?
Yeah, second one was a lot easier.
Oh,
a lot easier.
So because you knew what you were up against, or because
it was partially that, but I also didn't have a patellar tendon ripped out and graft. I used something else, and that made it a lot easier recovery on my end.
So I don't know, and again, we'll see if we get to talk to Christian in the locker room, because you know that he's another person that we all want to talk to, in addition to Elton, in the brand new
Well, he's injured.
sexy,
He doesn't have to talk
sexy
to you
locker
guys.
room. But he doesn't. I don't think he has to. But I'm not sure what the training camp rules are. And I think he probably would like to, because I know he knows how many people are curious about his situation. But again, I think the smartest way to go about this, especially when you do think about the fact that he's torn his ACL twice now, once in high school or college and once now, is that to play, as Mike McCarthy always would say, the high side of caution. And so we'll see what the timeline is. But to me, the PUP list makes the most sense. I thought that all along. The question is, when are they going to open the window? But we'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. And by the way, old boy, I hope I'm wrong about the timeline I said from the jump of mid-November. I hope I'm totally wrong about that, because let's be honest, this is a really big year for him. He's in a contract year, and you went through this with your injuries. That injuries suck no matter when you get them, but when you get them in a contract year, they are particularly frustrating.
That
are they
makes
not?
it trickier. It makes it trickier, and I think for Christian, he's attacking it. You mentioned it when you were up at the OTAs that you saw him running, and he's going to push the envelope because you're going to be smart, but you also understand that the league doesn't stop. And if you want to keep on this train and you want to make a big impact and make some money, you got to prove that you're back. And will he be fully back? Most guys aren't with the ACL, but get back out there, build it back up, get your confidence going. And it'd be awesome to see him really have a big second half of this season, and because I think Green Bay wants to pay him and wants to keep him. I think they like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's proven when he's healthy he is a difference maker, even if Jesse disagrees with me. But he has unfortunately not been able to do that consistently, and that might end up being to the benefit of the G&G, where they can get him on a contract that's maybe a little more team-friendly and let him come back and maybe even have a bigger year next year. But all of that's just window dressing right now. A big thing is get back out on the field, and then prove that you can stay healthy and play this back half of this 2025 season.
All right, I do want to talk briefly about Bo Melton. And I know you.
I don't think this is great news for Bo.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So Hunter's got that portion of the conversation from earlier today. Here is the discussion about Bo Melton, who is spending most, if not all, of his time and has a New Jersey number at cornerback.
Well, I just think that we know what he is as a wide receiver, and I think it just gives him the best opportunity moving forward in regards to if he can really kind of carve out a role in that spot.
So Tausch, Goody used the phrase that he's an established player, which again, as we've learned with Goody, absolutely Aaron Jones will be back, and we're not going to let Devontae Adams out the door. He's a Hall of Fame player. So I understand that what he says doesn't carry a lot of weight. But when you say that he's not going to be splitting time between wide receiver and corner, and that we know what he is as a wide receiver, and Goody even brought up the game in Minnesota when he had the 100-yard game in 2023, which is a huge moment for this team. They had to win that game to make the playoffs, and he delivered for them. But as you always say, the league comes at you fast and things change, and they've got so many wide receivers. They're like what's the old nursery rhyme? There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many wide receivers, she didn't know what to do. Like they don't need him necessarily to be a wide receiver on this team with the investments they've made. So if you're him, you do have a niche as a core special teams player. If you view him as such, as a special teams valuable there, and he is able to show that he can be, I don't want to say in case of emergency break glass corner, but a guy who, if you get down, he can play there, and he can play wide receiver. How do you like his chances? Because I like his chances less today than I did at minicamp.
So I tend to agree with you, but I'll say this. You can't really ask a guy who has not played defensive back. He's a great athlete. Obviously, he's an NFL wide receiver. He's proven that. You can't ask him to think that you're going to just say, go play defensive back, even though everybody else has done it their whole lives that's playing it. Right. You're not Travis Hunter. But it tells me that Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur love this kid and want him on their 53 for special teams. He is not going to have a role as a wideout. They know what he is. Obviously, if something goes south in a game and 4 or 5 guys get hurt, but with the added acquisitions of Savion Williams, Matthew Golden are both making this team. That's happening. They're not getting cut. That's 2. And then you look at the other, Wicks, 3, Dobbs, 4, Reed, 5. Who am I missing? I'm missing a 6th out of that mix.
Malik Keith.
That's where they're at. And Christian Watson eventually is going to come back. They're basically saying, well, you ain't going to make it as a wideout. Let's give you every opportunity to be able to add some more. You could be somebody that if we, in a pinch, could play you there, but you're going to be a core special teams guy, and you can be our jack of all trades on everything else. That gives you an opportunity to do it. So I think that's the plan. I think they really want to find a spot for him to make this roster. Whether or not that's going to be enough depends on probably how quickly. If he can show that he can be competent as a defensive back, I think he'll have an outside shot of making the team. But it's going to be an uphill climb for him to make it as a defensive back, unless they're only looking at him as a special teams player.
Right, and the other part of this that does play into his favor, not saying that he wants to be on the practice squad, which he's been on before, but you can stock your practice squad with, say, a few extra corners that you don't think are worthy of being on the 53. Keep him as a, air quotes, corner and more of a special teams guy. And if you need to call up corners from the practice squad on game weeks, you have some flexibility there. So maybe, again, we're on day 1, but I did not find, I agree with you. They do like him. And they do want him, but they're not. It ain't gonna be easy. And you know what?
Nope.
What I respect about Bo is that he's one of those guys, kind of like you were. He doesn't expect anything to be handed to him. He wants to earn it, and I think he'll have every opportunity to do that. Yep,
he
exactly
is built
right
for this. So if anybody can pull it off, it could be him. So the fact that Green Bay is throwing this lifeline to him, I think, is a good sign. At least they want him to be here, because it would be real easy just to let him kind of fuddle around as a wide receiver, and then, hey, we love what you did, but you're 7th and 8th, and we can't keep 8 wideouts.
Right. So, all right, I want to get to your question for Matt LaFleur and the exchange that resulted from it being after the closing bell, which I think you'll enjoy. Just like you enjoy every stop you make at Quick Trip.
Well, I'll
or
tell
did
you what,
you do
I
Quick
love
Trip
Quick
already?
Trip, but I also love Coors Light. And whether you're tailgating pregame or enjoying your experience during the game, celebrating a big win after the game, or you just need a moment to chill, crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light, brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, a Golden, Colorado.
Very smooth. Well done. Thanks for covering for me.
Thank you. You got it.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join myself, gold medalist Matt Hamilton, and Molly Brown live from Monk's in Middleton on Thursday, July 24th. Monk's Bar and Grill is known throughout the Midwest as the place to go for a great burger and friendly service since 1947. Plus, they have plenty of ice-cold Coors Light, because when the mountains are blue, you know what to do. Say it with me. Come out and crush a Coors Light and enjoy the show with me, Jim, Matt, and Molly, live from Monk's in Middleton, Thursday, July 24th.
Summer is heating up, and so are the prizes at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. On Friday, July 25th, 38 winners will take home a combination of cash and rewards play in our Kabooming Riches promotion. We're talking a total of $81,000 in total prizes. 2 winners will be selected every half hour starting at noon and going until 9 p.m. And the prizes get bigger and bigger as the day goes on. Kaboom! We're bursting with prizes at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
All right. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch rolls on the first day of Packers training camp. And Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst speaking before practice. And I want to state this for the record. The execution may have not been as high as I would like it. But the question that I asked, not at your behest, but at your suggestion, was an outstanding question. I mean, it was, I loved it. I even used the 3rd and 7 line. I just thought it was so good. And I'll tell you what, got a really good answer. It may not have gotten a really good answer right away, because there was a little bit of a back and forth that occurred first. And I do want to say one other thing, and I know this sounds self-serving. But believe it or not, Matt and I have a great relationship. And he loves to give me grief, and I'm totally fine with that. And it was fun today. But if you don't know that he loves to give, I would use a different word, but we're on the radio, give me grief. you would think that maybe I was annoying him again today, which I assure you I wasn't, or well, maybe a little. Here is our conversation earlier today about the competition on this team.
Hey, Matt, speaking of competing.
You always ask the extra question every time. Never fails.
Are you okay with that?
It's up to my boss, sir.
These guys are obviously competing every single down. I get that, but from a starting job perspective, it's really only the left tackle job that's really and truly a full-scale competition.
See, I would disagree with that statement wholeheartedly. I think everything's a competition. So I know that you guys, have people penciled in, but like a lot of things change in this league, and you can't take it for granted. And you got to earn your spot every day. So I would disagree with you there.
I appreciate that. So my question then is, to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong again, the competition here is you got so many wide receivers, you got a bunch of edge rushers, you got all these really good players. Is the competition about, hey, on 3rd and 7 when the money's on the table, who's going to be out there for us offensively? Who's going to be out there defensively? Is that what we're talking about when we're talking about competition?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Every opportunity that these guys get, they got to earn. And quite frankly, I don't care what you've done in the past. You got to go put in the work, and you got to prove it throughout the course of the training camp, the preseason. And you can never take it for granted because things change quickly in this league.
Tausch, your thoughts?
Great question. Really good setup with the question. So I understand what Matt's doing. Matt wants to, have competition, be at the foundation of everything that they do. That's how you build, iron sharpens iron, and everybody gets better by doing it. But to think that you're not going to lean on experience as far as what guys have done in the past, that is true. Now, that doesn't mean, well, this guy's done it before, he's going to do it again. Well, if he keeps proving that he's not doing it in training camp, then that opens that door for other opportunities. And the goal of this is to have your veterans feel a little pressure behind them, and then they rise and say, no, not yet, bucko. I'm still here. And the young guys saying, well, I'm going to keep chasing. And that breeds that competitive juice that was what Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst want. But the bottom line is it's almost like the analytics firm. You dump all of this info into a machine, and you figure out who's going to who fits the role that we need for these circumstances. But the 3rd and 7 is what you don't worry about any of that. It's like, who do I trust? Who do I know is going to do what they need to do to help us play winning football when that time is now? And that's where you find your dogs. And camp is a big part of figuring out who that player is going to be.
And by the way, great to see the AmFam team that's here at practice watching. And they weren't able to hear your great analysis there, so they'll have to tune in after the fact. But it's great to see them. I do want to add something to that, though, to your point. And if we're being like, I understand why Matt has to say what he did, but I don't think, barring injuries, we don't think that Tyron Hopper is going to beat out Edgerrin Cooper for one of the linebacker spots, right? We don't think Kalen King is going to come out here and take Keyshawn Nixon's job like they are. And this is one of the differences from, I understand you can never say never, but like, I feel like during your time, not necessarily you after your rookie year, but it always felt like there were 3 or 4 like legit competitions for starting jobs. And then toward the end of your career and, kind of since 2010, where, the collective bargaining agreement changed things and there's less off season and all the other stuff, it just felt like you had to figure out your team in the off season and then be ready to roll with it. And then if there were a couple spots where you weren't sure about, there was a competition. I mean, I'm not wrong, right? He can give me grief for this, but it is the left tackle job, and there's basically nowhere else that's a clear-cut, hey, we don't know who the starter is going to be.
Well, I don't know about right guard. No, I think there's probably other spots that maybe we don't see, but you're definitely your assessment is accurate. and I don't want Matt LaFleur to answer that question any differently. It's one of these cases where you know you're right, but you know what the head coach has to say. Just like Brian Gutekunst is not going to tell you, he might fib a little bit to you because it's not in the best interest of the team to shoot straight with you on a public deal. To think that Banks isn't going to be the left guard, I don't care. He could urinate down his leg. He's going to be the left guard, period. Unless he's injured, he's going to be left guard. Doesn't matter if Melton or anybody else steps up and just plays dynamite. He is going to be your left guard because there are decisions made when you sign contracts that it is just like the draft is an indicator of what the thought process is. The draft is more malleable because you don't know, you haven't seen it. You've seen Banks play with San Francisco. All right, this is why you're paying him top dollar. You just paid Zach Tom, so that competition that we thought was going to happen, that some thought, I didn't, Zach Tom is going to be your right tackle. There are certain spots that it's, yep, this is what we're doing. But you still want to have the mindset of your football team to believe you better be on your best every blanking day or someone is there to take your spot. That is built into the mentality of football, and especially young players that don't have big, fat contracts.
Were you able to keep that, given the way your personality is, even when you were the established right tackle?
Oh, I never thought – let me tell you, I never thought I was a made man. I mean, there actually were times that I probably was maybe even a little bit further on the other end of the spectrum. Like, I knew that I was going to probably make the team my rookie year, but I did not sign a lease until final cuts because you don't know. And when you're a late pick, you've seen it. When you're a walk-on, you know the game. And I think it would be a lot harder for someone that's a 5-star recruit that has 100 colleges throwing everything at him, especially in today's day and age with the money that gets thrown with that.
You know,
but the great ones and the guys that last a long time, they find ways to make sure that motivation level is always high. And it doesn't have to be that I'm going to make the team. It could be I'm going to chase down Peyton Manning or I'm going to do this. You find different motivations that drive you to be the best that you can. It doesn't have to be, I'm not going to make the team, because there's you're going to make the team. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be at your best if you get fat and happy about anywhere where if you ever start feeling complacent in this league, you're going to get passed up, and you might not be out of the league this year, but it'll happen sooner than it should if complacency ever sets in.
As Alex Strofe always says, well said, well said. All right, Packers rolling on here. They're doing the 2 spot, which I know gets them double the snaps in 11 on 11, or in this case, it looks like 11 on 11. So they've got 2 different spots going as of right now. We need to get to Whoa Hunter, and that is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6. And follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions. Presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
The search for luxury begins at Audi Madison. Save $5,500 when you purchase or lease a new 2025 Audi Q7 55. National customer credit is good toward the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until July 30th. Why drive something ordinary when you can drive something extraordinary? Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Summer is here, and your taste buds deserve the best. Carbless is perfect for the pool, the lake, or hanging out by the fire. Full of flavor with 0 sugars, only 100 calories, and made with premium spirits. Don't just settle for something overly carbonated and those flavorless seltzers. Carbless has full flavor with every sip, not just a hint. So when you're ready to take a drink and ready to chill, Carbless is clean, crisp, and won't leave you feeling bloated. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
Celebrate Happy Gilmore 2 at the Bridges. On Sunday, July 27th, play in the Be Happy 2 or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes of golf with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
We're on the Packers.
The last 4 or 5 games are going to be very difficult.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
But I still think they can get 11 wins out of this schedule.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Every day is like a blank canvas. You know you can paint it any way you want it. You can draw black.
Practice rolls on at Ray Nitschke Field. We roll on with Woe Hunter.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Well, in case people haven't heard, and I mean, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show, but there will be no free cheeseburgers in Milwaukee because the Brewers did not win their 12th in a row, so George Webb won't be giving away the free cheeseburgers. I blame Alex Strofe and full-time Will Summers for recording a video saying that they want free cheeseburgers in front of a George Webb yesterday. So they owe, like, all of us free burgers, right?
No, I don't think so. I think they were trying to get ahead of it, but did they jinx it? Maybe. Did the fact that we could only have Miz throw 3 2/3 and our bats didn't go? That's probably more, I think, more important in that process, but there is streaks. You don't mess with streaks, man. Stuff when you're on a winning streak as a player, you don't change anything. Baseball players, the stories have been told that are pretty disgusting about what they're doing to make sure that they keep on their hitting streak or their winning streak. And Strophe and the boys, they got a little bit greedy. They wanted to get out in front of it, and when you do that, sometimes you jinx it, and fans have every right to be upset with them.
So who are they treating to burgers?
I mean,
like, is it just the producer crew or like the entire ESPN Wisconsin team? Because look, I love Strophe, and I love that you guys are calling Will full-time Will, because he is full-time, and he's one of our young rising stars. I love the guy. But what the hell are they doing? I think they do owe you. And again, did the Brewers lose because of what they did?
Yes.
No, but you still don't mess with the streaks,
Maybe.
man. You know better than
know.
that. Yeah.
We don't know.
If they were in Seattle, had they been like in the stand, like they said, hey, we're going to road trip because we're going to be there for, right? Was the game in Seattle?
Yep.
It was.
We're going to be there for it to see it happen in person, and then, fly back and start getting our burgers. All I know is, why do that? Just wait till it happens. So disappointed in both those young fellas.
Yeah, I always think that Strophe knows better, but clearly he doesn't.
You know what? You hit on something there. How many more times are we going to say, I think Strophe knows better? Because time after time again, he proves he doesn't.
It feels like Strophe is playing chess, though.
No, I think he's playing checkers instead of chess. I think he's playing tiddlywinks.
Yeah, it's definitely the other way around. I've worked with Strophe enough now. Like, this isn't him trying to be, like, faster than everybody else. Like, he's just dumb. That's all this is.
Ouch.
Dang.
I didn't see that coming.
I mean,
Wow.
I'll say it to his face.
Oh, yeah, wow. I'll tell you what, don't get on Hunter's bad side.
No kidding.
Learned.
No, I love Strophe.
Don't tug on Superman's
Doesn't
cape,
sound
shall
like
I
it.
say.
No,
I love Strophe. He's an idiot. He's dumb. I love him.
I love him. He's just, he makes dumb decisions. And this was one of them, and I want a cheeseburger from him now. Real quick, because it's Big Ten Media Days starting, Luke Fickell will be speaking today. I've started playing the schedule game with the Badgers, and I know I get overly optimistic about them all the time. But
undefeated.
I'm feeling 7-8 wins this year. I think they're going to shock the world. I think they're going to win one of those big marquee games this year. I'm feeling super high on the Badgers right now. I'm pumped for college football this year. Like, am I a lunatic or like Strophe dumb?
Why would you be a lunatic? You should be optimistic, and until proven that you're not. Again, I think Wisconsin, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, they're 12th ranked in the Big Ten. What would Jocko say, Jason?
Good.
Use it. Understand that this is where you're at right now, and until you prove otherwise, you said they're going to win a big game. We hope that last year there was a lot of big games on the schedule, and you know what? There's a lot of big games on this year's schedule. You're going to have to get to that number, you're going to have to win a couple of those. And, it's the thing about college football now, the excitement level. Last year really means nothing. There's so many different new players on everybody's team. The new era of college football really allows you to flip that switch, and you can wipe what happened in the past. It's over. It's gone. And if you don't believe me, ask Indiana. I guarantee Indiana's sports talk last year was probably saying, I don't know, they're only favored to win 4 games. Next thing you know, they're in the CFP chasing down Notre Dame in the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought when we talked about this earlier in the week, Hunter, that Tausch said something really smart, which I don't want to make it sound like that doesn't happen on the regular. But I just feel like in today's college football, where how many years in a row now is this that there'll be a different opening day starting quarterback for the Badgers? Who wasn't with the team the previous year? At least 3, right?
Yeah, this will be 3 for that.
So I just don't know. And again, I understand as I'm part of the sports journalism industrial complex that everyone does predictions. I mean, maybe not me as often as I should, but like they got to put them somewhere. But that doesn't mean anything, and especially now, right? Because you just don't know what your team is. I would be curious, Tausch, how much Luke Fickell really knows what his team is before they get to fall camp. Like, he has some ideas, and they obviously had spring ball, but it's almost as if it's the flip side of my view of the NFL. Is you come to training camp with a pretty good idea of what your team is and who's going to be playing where in the NFL. And I just don't think that can be the case in college because of the way it is. So I would, again, I've been rewatching season 3 of Ted Lasso, and they are picked very low in the Premier League, and Ted takes the team down to the sewers of London because let that kind of poop just flow through. Well, I think the Badgers would be smart to take that same approach and also use it as a little motivation. And I hope, Hunter, you're right with your optimism, because that would make for a much more enjoyable 2025 football season.
Whoa, Nelly!
That's all I've got for you guys so we can stay on time here today.
Stay on time? How'd you guys do without me?
We did
That's
okay.
Hey, we were on point.
I'm sure you
No
were.
offense.
None taken. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Brewers.
2025 wants to be in the discussion as one of the greatest Brewers teams of all time.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
It's going to come down to what they do in October.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. A legal battle unfolds. Could Xavier Lucas's departure from Wisconsin affect future college football operations? Following a new house settlement, the NCAA turning to a sports commission group to take over. Hurricanes beat writer Alex Sano laying out more on the matter during his appearance on the Jump Around.
Like, is the College Sports Commission going to put a bullseye on Miami and say, you know what, we really want to investigate to set an example against tampering or alleged tampering, or is the commission going to sit on their hands? We don't really know.
For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella experience. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years if you order by July 31st at PellaWI.com.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join myself, gold medalist Matt Hamilton, and Molly Brown live from Monk's in Middleton on Thursday, July 24th. Monk's Bar and Grill is known throughout the Midwest as the place to go for a great burger and friendly service since 1947. Plus, they have plenty of ice-cold Coors Light, because when the mountains are blue, you know what to do. Say it with me. Come out and crush a Coors Light and enjoy the show with me, Jim, Matt, and Molly, live from Monk's in Middleton, Thursday, July 24th.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the executive director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
You love choices.
Like your choices with a Sweeto metal roof.
Choose standing seam or high-profile steel shingles that come in a variety of styles that last a lifetime.
Put a Sweeto metal roof on and take the worry off with choices.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeto. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweeto metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. Over the past 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's top destination for player development and advancement, including over 468 college commitments and 27 MLB draft picks. Their facility in Windsor is the home of GRB Rays baseball and features over 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training. Tryouts for the 2026 summer season begin July 22nd. Find full training programs and register now at grbacademy.com.
We're on the Packers.
This is an enormous season
because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And it's not just for Jordan Love.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Outgoing team president and CEO Mark Murphy standing with Brian Gutekunst watching practice. He will preside over the shareholders meeting on Friday and then pass the torch to Ed Policy. We'll be there for that. We've got some 11-on-11 going on and Matthew Golden catching a touchdown pass from Malik Willis. So lots of stuff going on. The rain has held off, so looks like we'll get full practice in without getting drenched. Tausch, this is the last time before the Tausch summer sabbatical. When you come back from your sabbatical, what are you hoping I'm going to tell you a week and a half from now or whatever it is about what has occurred in training camp while you were away?
That there's been a lot of good physical football being played, that Elton Jenkins is signed, sealed, and playing center, that Matthew Golden continues to shine. I saw Savion Williams, one of the reporters, put out, he made a great one-handed catch. So just that competition and that there's no injuries, but everything that you're starting to see things solidify as far as where they're going to be with their 53 and really with their 22, who's going to be their preferred starters. That's what I'm hoping to hear when I get back.
As the kids say, Malik Willis is cooking right now. Touchdown to Golden, followed by a touchdown to Mecole Hardman. So Packers going through 11-on-11, some red zone work. All right, that's it for us today. Now we've got two options for you in terms of local programming. On ESPN Madison, you'll get Jim, Matt, and Molly live from the Tundra Trio. And on ESPN Milwaukee, you'll get Alex Strofe and Josh DiMaggio on Mr. Irrelevant. So you've got all kinds of choices. Whichever one you choose to listen to live, you listen to the other one later on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Tausch, enjoy your time away. We look forward to your return.